umpires were ready to bounce the ball. Purser coming in from the side, and so is Cloak. And they're still going to meet head-on. And Purser got the knockout, but went into half-forward. Manson overran the ball, picked up by Petraglia. He sends it in towards the half-forward line, and a good mark's been taken here by Rance coming out about 48 metres out from goal. He didn't look sure when going for the ball, but he put it in okay, Jack.
Yes, he looks a bit overweight there too. I trained him a little bit, Ian. He looks he looks a bit heavy there, but as I got the glasses on him.
Comes in, fires for goal. It'll come back a fraction, but it's hit the post. All about opening kick. He left it out on the left-hand side. The wind is... Well, it's slight, and it's going across the ground, and I think Rance allowed for it, but allowed just a fraction too much. And that is on the 3KZ Stillwell Ford scoreboard, one behind the Bulldogs, their opening account. Short pass to half-back, gets it over towards Kerrison. Kerrison goes for another handball, but it's not a good one. It goes into Ford's hands. He's got a handball down the ground at James. Always had a fit of the fumbles. He now gets it out towards his teammate McGuinness. McGuinness on the left foot in towards goal, and that's a lovely shot towards goal. McGuinness with a left footer, and that looked dead set off the boot, Jack.
That was just a bully fumble, that James. It gave him the opportunity for McGuinness to get away from the pack that time. Took a nice hand pass from James, and he straightened up on that left foot on. As a left footer can kick a football, he really put that one right through the centre from a beautiful angle.
And a good opening for the Bulldogs after only 2 minutes. They're 1-1 on the board, and one of those was the poster. Checking the score with George Ferry at BFL Park.
No score yet, Ian.
And Gerald Burke at Richmond.
None here yet, Ian.
Roy Simmons, Hawthorn.
Same here, Ian. No score.
Bob Henderson, Geelong.
Haven't started yet, Ian.
Right, gee, we're well off the job here at Victoria Park. Here's the bounce of the ball. Up it goes in the air, and Purser gets an easy bounce and thumps it 20 metres into the forward zone. But from half-back coming across to pick it up was Gavin Brown. Gets it over towards the outer side of the ground. A run for the ball. Mullainer's after it. He gets shepherded there, but the ball is over the line, and he makes it sure it goes further. And I think the umpire's going to penalise him for it. Or is he just giving him a little warning? No, he's had a little warning to Darren and said, don't do that again, or you'll find you'll be penalised. Or maybe even just a time-wasting report. David Cloak backflips the ball in the ruck, gets into open territory. Turner comes through, gets a left foot for the Magpies into the forward zone. A chance here. Leading across into the ball was Banks, but he couldn't quite pick it up. Mullane comes in. His grab with a good tackle. Ball hits the ground. They go in after them there. Baxter received a solid bump by Turner, who was letting his teammate go in for the ball. But it's all to no avail. The ball ended up in the ground with Banks, and his opponent looks like Cordy at that stage, going away. Eccleston there too, and Eccleston was the one on the ground with Banks. Ball's out in the ruck. Petraglia picks it up, gets a little handball out. It's out in the open again. Now McGuinness has got open territory, sidesteps around one player who was well shepherded by his teammate at the back. His kick in the forward line is not quite good enough. It doesn't go over the head of Kroll, who has managed to lift his arms and stretch that little bit. He plays on nicely, gets 1-2 bounces in, boots in towards the centre of the ground. Foster playing in front of Taylor, takes a good mark and goes straight on with it. Boots it in towards half forward. Up they go on the air. Good mark here coming in from Manson, who rose high. A beautiful mover for the ball until all of a sudden he puts the boot to his ball, to the ball to boot, and it doesn't look so flash. But he goes to the other side of the ground, gets it over there to little Ryan, who ended up with concussion last week, and we thought he may be out of the ground. But no, he's still playing, sends off a good pass on this occasion to his teammate in Filkey, and Filkey's off in towards the centre of the ground, looking for Banks. Banks takes that, well, he nearly took the mark, fumbled it and played on and drove into towards the grandstand half-forward line. Starcevic comes out, ball bounces towards the boundary line, over the line and out of bounds. What do you think about that move of Starcevic to full forward, Jack?
Well, I don't think you offer a winning move, and that was a winning move last week in at centre half forward.
Yes, if it changes in the first 5 minutes, then that's okay, but at the moment I don't think it's doing anything. Cordy picked it up at the back of the pack for Footscray, sent it out towards the half-back flank, and the mark's taken by Ford. Ford hugs the boundary line, and it's over on the full, giving the ball away to the Magpies, and Turner will take the free kick. Turner, virtually on the wing position. Now he gets a lead from Ryan, no one's picking him up. McGuinness lets him go as Turner's kick drives deeper, but Purser's at the back here and has got a running shot at it. He fumbled the mark, and I think in the second moment he didn't know whether to tap it out towards his teammate in Wallace, but breaking away is Atkins. Nice piece of play. Turns in towards goal, but his shot is not good enough, and Kennedy's showing great anticipation, dropping back to take the mark. He goes for a wobbly sort of a putt out to the outer side of the ground where Cronin comes down, is tackled nicely, and the ball runs over the boundary line, but the umpire says throw it in. Cronin a little bit lucky there, Jack.
Yes, he was a little bit lucky. I don't know whether he tried to play on or not there, or something was wrong there. He should have not tried to play on.
A flip down on the ground, a second knockout, a third knockout, up it goes, and trying to whip it away is Starcevic getting in the full forward position. Now he's out to centre half forward and Taylor's back to full forward. Well, it was the first 5 minutes, dragged into the ground. Magpie fans calling for a free kick. claimed the Bulldogs had held it too long. Foster said no way known, but I think he felt a little lucky when the umpire didn't penalise, and of course he could have got the driven into the ground as Kerrison really moved in on top of him. So the umpire did ball it up. Up it goes. Starcevic at centre half forward now. Taps it down the ground. And McPherson picks it up for Footscray out towards the outer side. Rance has picked it up but went back to the right boot and couldn't handle it. Moved it in with a hand pass over to Maloney at Footscray to half forward. Man in front here for the Magpies doing it well as Gafer. He goes for the handball over towards Christian coming up from the full-back line, and a beautiful foot pass out towards the wing there. Mullane is picking up the ball. Drives in towards half forward, looking for Manson. Up it goes, knocked to the ground by Purser. Purser's left in the open territory. In goes Atkins, picks it up, has to get a handball as he's tackled. Foster goes in, grabs the ball, is shepherded nicely by Petraglia. Torpedoes in towards centre half forward, falling back though to take a good mark as Gafer. Gafer for Magpies, another handball to Christian, who throws it out and eludes his opponent. Sends a good foot pass again, this time over towards Turner on the grandstand side, between the wing and the half-forward position. He goes to run around his opponent forward, just gets clear. He's run into trouble, but gets out of it nicely. Nearly a bit too risky, but got away with it, so he gets the credits. In towards half-forward it goes. Starcevic up, Banks in there. Banks goes up. He couldn't mark it, but the umpire said a little nudge there. It's going against Banks, and the free kick will go Footscray's way and going back with Appleton. Gets a lead, but yes, he'll be long enough to kick it into half forward. Up it goes. It's over the head of Cousins. He's looking for a push in the back. Dragged from the ground that time, and it was a push in the back. I thought it was against the Magpies, although the Collingwood fans didn't think so, but Royal was just starting to get near the ball when he was pushed into the ground, and will take the free kick. Brian Royal with a right footer up towards Simon Beasley. It's Beasley against two. Wasn't good odds, but a kick along the ground by McGuinness. He's got the speed to get away with this if he can move a bit closer to the ball. He's given a nudge. The umpire said play on. He's tapped it out from underneath him. In they go. Royal in there to try and help out. A handball by McPherson goes back to McGuinness. He moves onto his right foot, snaps towards goal. It's close. It's hit the post. Another behind the Footscray, so that's 3 shots for goal and 1 goal and two behinds, and both of those behinds have been posters. The Stillwell Ford scoreboard and 3Ks it is football.
This quarter brought to you by Stillwell Ford.
Can believe in Biff Stillwell, the man who knows his car.
Christian to the other side of the ground, and Morwood takes the mark and plays on. Laurie Sandilands.
And his kick isn't a good one. Goes into the centre of the ground. Brian Cordy comes through. Gets a handball away over towards Purser, but Mullane coming through. Puts his hand up and knocks the ball. He follows it up towards the wing position. Picks it up. Kicks in towards the half-forward flank, but the ball's over the boundary line and out of bounds for a throw-in. Kerrison tagging McGuinness, and McGuinness right into the play in the first term with 1 goal and 1 poster on the board. The ball comes in on the half-forward flank for the Magpies. Purser in the front position. Starcevic goes over the top, but it's picked up there by Footscray, and a kick away by Brian Cordy to the wing position. Cloak went up, couldn't take the mark. Ron James comes through, but Kroll comes through and beats him to the punch, as it were. Not a good handball, though, and it's picked up by Cronin. Cronin into centre half-forward, up towards Royal, but lovely mark there by Collingwood. Gavin Brown in defence, in front of Royal, and a good mark on the half-back flank. Now a 15-metre penalty will bring him up closer to the centre of the ground, and his kick will go into the centre of the ground. Foster goes up high, knocks the ball away from Taylor, down to Steve McPherson onto the left foot, up towards Beasley. Manson comes across and takes a beautiful mark. Handballs across to Brown, and Brown goes up towards the centre wing position. Bradbury's coming through, but Michael Ford of Footscray comes in and takes a good mark, playing very well early in the piece. And Ford handballs across to Cronin. Cronin dummies around, onto the right foot, kicks long up towards Beasley. Beasley goes up, but the ball's eluded all the players over the pack. Ron James comes through, he's playing the ball along the ground, got the fumbles, gets up, stands, fires towards goals, tackled as he got his boot the ball, and it's gone through for another behind to Footscray.
Stillwell Ford scoreboard, Footscray 1-3-9. Collingwood yet to score at the other grounds. Joel Berg at Richmond.
Richmond and Sydney are 1-1 apiece.
George Ferry at VFL Park.
I've got Carlton 1 point, Essendon 3 points.
Christian goes to the outer side of the ground, and a little kick finds Gafer. Gafer with a big kick now, up towards Paul Morwood. It's over his head. Purser following up, picks the ball up, twists and turns. Now gets a long handball across to his teammate there in Maloney, but it's not a good one. Coming through nicely is Kroll. Kicks the ball up, kicks it along the ground, over towards Bradbury. He hits the ball along the ground to his teammate coming down there in Morwood. Morwood with a long left foot kick, up towards Taylor, who's now at full forward. Punched away by Kennedy. It comes back to Morwood. Morwood with a hurried kick up towards the goals. Coming through is Eccleston. Went high, he drills the mark. Oh, Dennis Banks is met solidly, and Banks will get the free kick. Good play away, and a 15-metre penalty. Foster played on and kicked the ball away, and this will bring Brink right onto the goal line. Dennis Banks will not be able to miss this goal, and a good, tough bit of play by Banks to get that free kick.
Well, I think you're right, Jack, about the supporters. There's no doubt who the ground's predominant in the ground, and I would say it's 98,000 Collingwood's way and 2,000 Footscray's way.
Even if the umpire hadn't seen that free kick, they wouldn't know who it was.
No.
Banks now with the ball is just walking in. As I said, Foster's been brought right back onto the goal line, and Banks is now walking in. He's on the 10-metre line. Lines up and puts that through as easy as you like. That's the Magpies' first goal on the board, and that is the Stillwell forward scoreboard. Footscray 139, Collingwood 1 straight goal.
3KZ is football.
This quarter brought to you by Stillwell Ford.
Can believe in Biff Stillwell, the man who knows his car.
Roy Simmons has scored Hawthorn.
Hawthorn 4 goals, 125. The Eagles yet to score.
Bob Henderson at Geelong.
Geelong, 3 goals straight. Fitzroy, 1 goal.
Back in the centre of the ground, Terry Keys is on the ball. And, ruck roving. Cloak, of course, doing the ruck work. It comes towards Cloak, and he gets a knockout, but Steve McPherson scouts that well, but it's beautifully smothered by Turner. It comes down towards Wallace. He gets a little kick along the ground. Could be a free kick there to Collingwood, and it is Starcevic. Foster again over the top of him, and it's Starcevic with the free kick. Kicks long towards Taylor, made a good lead. Taylor goes up. Almost took that mark, falling down to the ground, and hits the ground, though. Stacks on the mill, and umpire Russo will come in to ball it up. We're about 40 metres out from the Collingwood goal. Collingwood kicking up to the grandstand end in the first term. Umpire Russo with the ball, puts it down. Not a good bounce. Over towards Starcevic, but Purser knocks it over to Maloney. He fumbles the ball, but dives on it. Banks is in there. Petraglia kicks it off the ground, and playing in front is Murray Rance. Takes a mark. Handballs to McPherson. McPherson with a quick handball across to Ford. Ford fumbles it, but knocks it further along towards McGuinness. McGuinness picks it up and puts a lovely little pass in towards Beasley. A beautiful right foot pass, and Beasley leading out in front of Christian has taken the mark 38 metres out from goal on a very slight angle. Nice bit of play there, and McGuinness really into the play in the first term and finishing off his work with some lovely passing. Beasley comes in. It's a nice looking kick by Beasley. The umpire's not moving much. And it's another goal to Footscray. 2-3. That will be 15 points on the Stillwell forward scoreboard. Collingwood, 1 straight goal.
Well, what do you think the impressions of the first 10 minutes, Jack?
All right, very good. I think they're on the game a little bit more than Collingwood at the present time. They've still got to get some of their match winners into the game, and that's, of course, Taylor and Starcevic. But it appears that Footscray's got their men going all right. They're looking for the ball, and they've opened very well indeed, especially McGuinness.
Yes, he's... Problem with McGuinness, though, he rarely puts 4 quarters together. Yeah, Purser gets another knockout. Over towards Petraglia. He can't get a kick away. It comes loose. Coming through is Petraglia again, but Foster picks up the ball. Kicks out to the wing position on the grandstand side, and Mick Ford picks up the ball. Handballs across to Steve McPherson, and he's getting plenty of latitude. McPherson, a beautiful pass and a beautiful lead by Beasley, and he's got it again. This time he's directly in front of goals and about 40 metres out from goal.
I just wonder if McPherson's playing centre.
I think you might be right, Ian, but he's certainly in the play, and he's getting a lot of space to move in, and that's dangerous. He's a very good player. Beasley again with the ball, going for his second goal in as many minutes. That's a nicely directed kick too. It's just moving away, but it's through the goals. Yes, another goal. 2 goes to Beasley, and that's 3-3, 21 points to Footscray on the Stillwell forward scoreboard. Collingwood, 1 goal.
And when that ball left the boot, Jack, I thought it was going to be another poster.
Yes, he fired the glasses right on. That too was heading for the post, and all of a sudden it just came back just that fraction, although if it had been behind, I think it was a very straight kick, that one.
3-2 and the 2 of those posters, or 3-3 and 2 of those posters, not bad shooting.
They could have had a big score up.
And the ball goes down again. Purser's up there, knocks it away. Rance punches the ball further on, up towards centre-half forward. Petraglia comes through, ducks his head, could have got caught. He gets away. Oh, but there's 3 Collingwood players. They finally get the ball away from him. Tried to do too much. Kroll gets the ball out towards Mullane. Mullane onto the left foot, up towards the centre wing position. Brian Cordy comes through. He's defending well in the first term. A little kick over to his teammate there in Ford. Ford takes the mark, plays on. got hit around the neck. Play on is the call. Played the advantage rule. It comes to Petraglia. A little kick in towards centre half forward, and Royal playing in front has taken the mark.
Luck's a bit of a fortune there because they were off suited.
Beasley leads again. It's a lovely pass and a lovely lead. Beasley, his third shot for goal in as many minutes, and already Christian's in trouble with a very fast leading and of Beasley and the accurate passes that he's getting from further downfield. 3-3-21 Footscray. Beasley already with 2 goals.
I must admit I thought Christian's pace would keep him up with Beasley, but those passes have been pretty good, haven't they?
Yes, he hadn't had much hope with that one, I'll tell you. He led out brilliantly for that one.
That's not a good kick by Beasley. That one's skewing across the front of goals and through for another point. 2-1 to Beasley, that is. And Footscray on the Stillwell forward scoreboard. Move on to 3-4-21. Collingwood, 1 straight goal.
3 Ks it is football.
This quarter brought to you by Stillwell Ford.
Can believe in Biff Stillwell, the man who knows his car.
Score from George Ferry at VFL Park.
3 behinds to Carlton and 3 behinds to Essendon.
Coles managed to kick the ball to himself and played on, booted out to the outer side of the ground. A chance over here for the Magpies to get the ball into play. Looks like it is Turner breathing away. Gets the handball over there to Kerrison coming down the ground. He's had a big shot in towards the half-forward line. In front at the moment is Baxter, but he's missed the mark. It's down on the ground. They're on the Sports Play big logos at the moment. Looks as though they're skidding on ice, doesn't it? It's got that lightish colour about it, the light blue colour about it. Laurie, you were going to say?
Yes, Gafe has been moved down onto Beasley. The move had to come.
Here's the bounce of the ball. Cloak goes up. Nice knockout there by Purser. Gets it down towards McGuinness, but he's quickly trapped, can't move away, and the umpire will be forced to ball it up again. Could we take a score from Gerald Burke at Richmond?
Richmond 2-3-15, Sydney Swans 1-3-9.
Roy Simmons at Hawthorn.
Hawthorn 4-2-26, the Eagles 2-2-14.
A further bounce, up it goes. Purser gets the knockdown. It goes wide. It goes out to Ford, who's been moved over to Mullane on the outer side of the wing. His kick, though, is not a good one. It goes straight up over the line and out of bounds, and the Magpies will get the free kick. It's thrown back, and it's been hand passed from Keys and back over to his teammate. And that looks as though is that Ross on a go on the ground already? Boots in towards the half-forward line. Up it goes in the air. Trying to get out of the pack is Banks. He couldn't do so. A kick by Turner goes along the ground. A chance for the Magpies here. Brown gets a little short pass in the half-forward, and Starcevic, who's been a good player for the Maggies all this year, gets the handball over the top to Filkey. Filkey goes for the pass to the pocket, and Brian Taylor is there. Kennedy was caught in 2 minds. Didn't know whether to go back and defend the goal or pick up Taylor, who had made the obvious chest move and moved out towards the pocket and left Kennedy in those 2 minds, and the ball was popped over by Filkey to Brian Taylor. Finished off with 6 goals last week. Let's see what he can do today. Yes, I think Rosonico was a correct call down there. Rosonico is on the ground, and Cloak has just gone off the ground now, and Manson's coming back on. Taylor shoots towards goal. The Magpie banners indicate it's a good one, and that's the second goal of the Maggies. 2 goals on the board at the 18-minute mark. Footscray 3-4-22, 10 points the difference, and we'll check it out the grounds with George Ferry at VFL Park.
Carlton 3 points and Essendon 3 points.
George Ferry at Richmond, Gerald Burke at Richmond.
Richmond and Sydney Swans 2-3-15 apiece.
Roy Simmons at Hawthorn.
Hawthorn 4-2-26, West Coast 2-2-14.
Bob Henderson, Geelong.
Geelong 3-2-20, Fitzroy 1 goal.
Back to the centre. Umpire Mitchell moves in, sends it on its way. It's a big bounce. Run at the ball is Manson, but I think Purser really got it out towards the side. Picked up by Banks. Nice piece of play. Gets it over towards his teammate running down in Bradbury. Bradbury's taken the ball. Gets it over to Morwood. Morwood's kick is down the ground, but the umpire said he was interfered with as he took the kick, and it's going down the ground, and it'll be taken by Little Atkins, the former North Melbourne rover. Now Atkins is 42 metres out from the centre of the goals. Boots towards the big sticks. Purser down there will thump it to the ground. He does do so. A chance here for little Ryan. Met solidly by Kennedy, and Kennedy's going for the handball, but goes the wrong way. Goes straight out in the open. Ryan chased after, couldn't get it, and over the line and out of bounds it'll go for a throw in. Purser's there. Starcevic doing the ruck work for the Magpies. He gets in front and tried to pull out of the ruck at the last minute, and then Purser grabbed it, and he was grabbed in turn. Picked up by Kerrison with a flying shot into the sticks, and it's through for 1 behind, and that's the Maggies' first behind. 2-1-13 to Footscray, 3-4-22. And Maggie's starting to get the game rolling a bit more now, Jack.
A little bit more now, yes. He's sticking very close to Royal there, and he picked Royal up there in the Kerrison. It seems to be his job for the day there.
Kennedy started off to kick the ball back into play, but then plopped and said get further over. And they're doing just that as the lead goes over there from Foster. Foster always grabbed around the back, and the umpire allowed play to go on. A flying kick from Turner goes astray and goes straight to Royal. He breaks away and gets on his left foot. Goes into half forward, sticks it up in the air to Petraglia. It's not really a fair job. Petraglia is knee-high to an ant. He turns around and gets out of it nicely, though, and boots in towards the centre full forward position. Beasley right out from goal, looking for a push in the back, but didn't get it. And the umpire was right on the scene, so he didn't play it. A handball by Morwood goes to the back pocket to Rosonico. He goes out to half-back for the Maggies. Here's a chance for McPherson to come in. Bradbury goes over the top of him, but the umpire said that's a push in the back. Well, I just wonder really whether that one might have been a make-up for Beasley's a few seconds beforehand, because Beasley's worse than that one to McPherson. McPherson shoots from the 50-metre line. It's right in the teeth of goal. Up they go. Man at the back, old Pay. Kroll breaks away. He didn't need to. He gets a little kick out to half-back. Picked up by Brown over to Rosonico. Rosonico's pulled out of the way. Bradbury goes in, grabs the ball, goes for a left footer across the face of goal, but leading us forward in the run to the ball, and Ford takes the mark. And Turner's yelling out to his teammate Bradbury, why in the heck did you do that?
Never said heck.
No, he may not have, Jack. What did he say? But it wasn't good, Jack. It wasn't good.
It was very bad play.
Different if the players made the lead to there, but it was nowhere near him. Now Ford, who's not noted as a goal kicker, is shooting from 45 metres out. Comes in. Goes in. The ball props up a little bit, and it's only... Oh, it's over the line and out of bounds. Did I say he's not noted as a goal kicker, or he's still not noted as a goal kicker? Footscray remain 3-4-22 to Collingwood 2-1-13, and we're at the 23-minute mark. Umpires just sorted out how far Beasley will have to stand back as the kick comes in. A big kick there by young Kroll out towards the half-back line, and Purser comes down and takes a mark. Purser doesn't take that many marks. He's usually content to just knock it out in the ruck or flip it over his teammates racing past. Comes in. He's had a big go from the 50-metre line. Fires up towards goal. Up they go in the air. A chance there in the last line by Kroll. He can't quite get it, and the umpire is rushing in and says, leave it to me, I'll ball it up. So we've got Rosso in charge of the ball, about 12 metres out from goal. Beasley walking around, having a little word to him on the way. Say, how's your stocks and shares at the moment, John? I can help you out. Beasley trying the ruck, didn't get it. Gafer got it out on the ground. Picked up, another flying shot. We wouldn't credit it. Wallace has hit the post. So Bulldogs in this first quarter have hit the post 3 times. And we've got 3-5-22 at Footscray, Collingwood 2-1-13, and 3KZ is football.
This quarter brought to you by Stillwell Ford.
Can believe in Bill Stillwell, the man who knows his car.
Gay from the kick out, kicked it to himself, nearly ran into a bit of trouble, but finally gets away and drives it out to the half-back line. The ball goes over the line and out of bounds. It's a long while since we've seen 3 posters in one quarter, Jack.
No, it makes the most mistakes. Well, Footscray's made him the most mistakes so far, Ian. They just say that he's the one that generally loses the game, the one that makes the most mistakes. So Footscray, 3 posters, no good.
Down on the ground, a handball there from Brown out towards his teammate and Fulke gets him to half forward. It's taken by Foster with a good mark over the top of Starcevic. He handballs it out, goes over the half-back with Cordy getting a good kick in, and a good courageous mark there to Ford, who beat Mullane that time, and he drives away, drives straight down the ground, looking for the forwards. Up they go. Almost a mark to Steve McPherson, and the umpire is going to play it. Now, McPherson's 45 metres out, but he has a beautiful kick of a football, usually. We're into the stage of saying usually. Jack's usually the greatest Moz, but we often have our moments too. So Steve McPherson, 40 or even 40 metres out there, got a 5-metre penalty. Drives towards goal, and I think it's just made it over the line. It has. Yep. It is a goal. And Bulldogs are now 4-5. That swings them along to 29 points. Collingwood 2-1-13. The Stillwell Ford scoreboard, and 3KZ is football.
This quarter brought to you by Stillwell Ford.
Can believe in Bill Stillwell, the man who knows his car.
George Ferrier scored at VFL Park.
Essendon 1-4-10 and Carlton also 1-4-10.
Gerald Burke at Richmond.
Scores level, 4-3-27 each, Richmond and Sydney Swans.
And there goes the bounce, but there's a centre infringement, and the free kick will go to Footscray. Purser will be to take it. Purser decides to go long. It's a big kick up towards centre half forward. Beasley comes out. Can't mark that ball. McPherson in there fighting hard for it. Can't pick it up. but he'll get the free kick being held when he didn't have the ball in his possession. And McPherson, 40 metres out from goal, doesn't waste any time, goes long. It's up towards James. The Collingwood player has fallen over there in Rosonico, but he does well. Gets his hand up and stops James marking the ball. Then stands up, good clearing dash by Rosonico, gets the ball out towards centre half forward. Royal picks the ball up off the pack, handballs to Rance. McPherson's in there, picks up the ball onto the left foot, turned around, lines up the goals, and this is a good kick by McPherson, and it's through for another goal to Footscray. That will take Footscray on to 5-5, which is 35 points on the Stillwell forward scoreboard. Collingwood 2-1-13.
And they've really let McPherson get his tail up, Jack, and when he does, he's a dangerous player.
He's doing it very cool and calculating too that time. He played for the free kick and he got it too at that stage too, but then he got back on the left leg. He did very nicely there. He seems to like to get on with the job very quickly, Ian.
And I think he'd appreciate the centre. He'd like to be able to move around, which he hasn't been able to do all that much.
Up they go. Purser gets the knockout again. It comes down towards Bradbury in there. Gets a handball over towards his teammate in Morwood. Morwood picks up the ball. Handballs across to Bradbury again. Bradbury onto the right foot. Kicks up towards Taylor. It's a nice looking pass, but bounces just in front of Taylor. This allows Kennedy to come in. Pick up the ball. Have one bounce and handball over to Steve Wallace. Wallace runs down to the wing. A big kick up towards Rance. Rance goes high but can't take the mark. Kroll has a kick away, but it's smothered before he can get any distance in the kick, and the players stack up on the ball, and umpire Russo comes in to ball it up just wide of the centre half forward position for Footscray.
Rance likes to put the boot out. I don't think it helps him at times either, Laurie.
No, he seems to go for those marks off balance when he's behind. Down goes the ball. Rance wrestling in the ruck, but it comes down towards Maloney. He gets a kick up in towards the full forward position. Bradbury knocks the ball away. Ron James is in there. He's got a dose of the fumbles today. Rosonico comes through and clears well again. A lovely kick in towards Mullane at centre half back. Mullane has one bounce and does a lovely kick up towards Dennis Banks. Dennis Banks, a nice mark there in front of his opponent Eppleson on the centre wing grandstand side. Almost put his foot over the line as he kicked that one in. Kicks up towards centre half forward, but Steve Wallace coming in takes a good mark for Footscray. He kicks back up towards the centre wing. Banks is in the good position here again, but his teammate spoils him. Rance comes through. Handballs nicely across to Cronin. Cronin on the left foot up towards Beasley. Beasley's in the front position, but Gafer outbustles him. Picks up the ball. Handballs across to Kerrison. He's tackled by Bamblett, and this allows... Kerrison got the kick, but Bamblett slew into the side, and he's kicked straight across the ground. McGuinness of Footscray, standing there about 15 metres away, has taken the mark 25 metres out from the Footscray goal on a very slight angle. Not much Kerrison could do. He's just grabbed at the psychological moment. McGuinness puts his boot into that one, and that's through for another goal to Footscray. A good opening quarter by Footscray as they go to 6-5, which will be 41 points on the Stillwell forward scoreboard. Collingwood 2-1-13.
And 3KZ takes you around the grounds. Roy Simmons and Hawthorn.
Hawthorn 6-3-39, West Coast 4-3-27.
Bob Henderson at Geelong.
Geelong 5-2-32, Fitzroy 4 goals straight.
George Ferry at VFL Park.
Carlton 1-6-12, leading Essendon 1-4-10.
Gerald Burke at Richmond.
Sydney 4-5-29, Richmond 4-4-28.
And we're back in the centre of the ground. This time the bounce favours Collingwood, but going in there hard is Petraglia. He smothers the ball in the pack. Fighting hard there is Jamie Turner of Collingwood. Gets the ball onto the bottom of the pack and holds it in there, and umpire Mitchell will come in to bounce the ball. 2 goals to McGuinness, 2 goals to Simon Beasley, and 2 goals to Steve McPherson of Footscray as the ball comes down again over towards Ryan of Collingwood. He picks up the ball, handballs over to Morwood. Morwood in the centre of the ground, handballs back towards Turner. Turner a quick right foot kick which is smothered and goes high up into the air. Manson there interfered with and will get the free kick.
Silly free kick, Jack.
That was a shocking free kick. That's what you do down the park somewhere.
Manson with that awkward style goes up towards Taylor. Kennedy comes from behind with a big thump away, but it comes down towards Brown of Collingwood. He's tackled hard, gets the ball out to Petraglia. Brown falls on him and holds the ball in there. Collingwood fans were appealing to let the play go on as Manson broke away with the ball, but umpire Russo in the meantime has decided to bounce it. On the half-forward line for Collingwood. Up it goes. Purser over the back. A lovely palm out to Petraglia. He gets onto the left foot. Kicks up towards the centre wing position. McPherson's in there again, reading the ball beautifully off the tack. Had held when he didn't have the ball, but play on called the umpire. It comes out to Morwood, and he gets a pass over towards his teammate. He sends a lovely pass in towards Brian Taylor there. And Brian Taylor has taken the mark 35 metres out from goal directly in front. Good play there, and it was Brown of Gavin Brown, the player who put such a lovely pass in there towards Taylor. And already it's shaping as a very interesting battle between Taylor and Kennedy. Taylor coming in, trying to put goal number 2 on the board. Leans back a little, but he's a very accurate kick for goals. And this one's through for goal number 2. Collingwood now go on to 3 goals, 1. 19 points, the Stillwell 4 scoreboard. Footscray, 6-5-41.
One of the things that pleased with Gavin Brown's play last week, Jack, at VFL Park was his accurate disposal of the ball.
He's had a couple of good returns from the back line too, and he's been playing very nice and neatly down there, the same fellow.
Ready for the bounce of the ball in the centre as we check another score with George Ferry at VFL Park.
Carlton 2-6-18, lead Essendon 1-4-10.
We're at the 30 and a half minutes almost gone in the first term. The ball goes down again. Manson and Purser. Purser gets a knock away, but it comes down towards Turner of Collingwood. He gets a little kick up towards centre half forward. Coming through there was Starcevic, but he can't mark the ball. Kicked off the ground by Ryan. Royal out towards the centre wing. Michael Ford's in there, picks up the ball, but in the meantime, a free kick to Rance. He handballs, and there goes the siren to end it.
By Malone, he got it over to Kennedy to back up, and he handballs to McGuinness. McGuinness over to half forward. Rance slopes after the ball, gets a long handball, but it's a shocking handball. It's right into the heart of the Collingwood players, and Gavin Brown gets it. Drives out towards the wing. Up it goes in the air, up to the ground by Ford. A chance here for Rance to make amends. He gets a handball. It's a bit better this time. It goes to Royal. He breaks away from 3 players. Good play. Boots in towards the half forward line. Bamblett not tall enough to bring down the mark. Picked up by Cronin. Cronin screws towards goal. It's bouncing once, twice, and nearly made it, but not quite. It's only through for a behind. I think a few Collingwood supporters had their hands in their
so jumped the fence, Ian. They're just about to get over the fence there. It was coming that slowly.
A little kick to himself. Sees Gafer heading out towards the grandstand side. Full forward. Bamblett is knocked out of the way as Kerrison has booted out to the grandstand side. Trying to pick it up was Petraglia. Bamblett's still on the ground. Umpire Russo ignored the incident, but Collingwood fans are applauding at the moment. Baxter is tackled. Play on, says the umpire. Picked up here by the youngster Terry Keys, who drives into the forward line. Another chance for Foster, who hasn't got much of a right boot, and he dribbles it along the ground over the line and out of bounds. In fact, he's lucky to wear a right boot.
I think he could concentrate on that.
Yes, had nothing at all when he went there, did he? No. He said, what's this sticking out at me? It's my right foot. Boundary umpire throws it in. Up it goes. Purser drags it down to his feet and gets it over towards Petraglia. Petraglia in there. Doing battle is Murray Rance and also Christian. Knocked to the ground. Rance doesn't want to go in after Bradbury, who was well shepherded, and the ball knocked back over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. Now Bamblett's in the hands of the trainers after that solid block from Kerrison.
What was it, a bumper? You know, I missed that.
I just got it out of the side of my eye. Here's the knockout by Cloak, and it gives Christian a chance to run for the ball. He's nicely shepherded, but his kick is a terrible one. It goes straight to McGuinness, who runs the ball over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. Now Rance is giving a few instructions to both McGuinness and Petraglia. It was really telegraphing your punches because he's set out to the side, and that's where it goes, and so Christian was already there and Ryan was doubling up. And well, breaking through nicely is Jamie Turner, and Jamie drives in towards the half-forward line. Up it goes in the air. It's over the head of Maloney and also Atkins. Kennedy comes out, but Taylor knocks the ball out in front to Rosonico. Rosonico's kick is towards goal. It's stopped there by Foster, but it hits the ground. Foster recovers, picks it up out towards the half-back line. Bad miss by Paul Morwood there. He should have got that one. Ball flies into open territory, and Ford is first to recover. Gets it up towards Steve McPherson. McPherson's got a paddock in front of him. Looks for, decides not to bounce the ball, but instead to pass it up. And James has gone in and at last has handled the ball securely and pulled it down. I'd say James was in danger of being ripped off. He'd had so many fumbles so far. His pass is intercepted by Bamble, and Beasley was chasing straight through to it. Royal comes in but slips over at the vital stage. Picked up by Ryan of Collingwood over to Darren Mullane. Darren is caught at the wrong time as he's going to kick the ball and fell over. Baxter picks up for Footscray, drives back the half forward. Up they go. But too tall down there as Gavin Brown flies right over the top of McGuinness. Gets the handball to Mullane, and Mullane has a better run than it this time and boots it into the centre of the ground. Up it goes towards Starcevic. Knocked to the ground. Over to McPherson. He picks it up. Handballs to Baxter. His kick is not a good one. It's stopped by Royal, who handballs to McGuinness, who's knocked over with a bit of a trip at the time. Even though it was accidental, it will still be paid as a trip against Darren Mullane. And as you can hear, the Magpie fans aren't all that overjoyed by the decision. The kick by McGuinness is to the pocket to Brian Royal. I don't know whether Simon Beasley is happy about that. He was leading straight up the ground, and the kick there was straight to the pocket. Do you think he meant it, Jack?
Yes, I think he did that time. He just caught him out the corner of his eye, and he's got a good pair of hands, this Royal, too, isn't he?
Yes.
Picks them up in the air, and that's what I liked about that little kid, too. He's got a good pair of hands, too, Ian, when he's not fumbling.
You're off, Brian. The umpire has called off, and Brian Royal suddenly realises that and fires to goal, and in shock he puts it through for one behind across the face of the goals. No, it's right across the face and over the line and out of bounds. Well, he was daydreaming then, Brian Royal. He started to go out to the side, and the umpire called it, and he was still just propping there, and he suddenly saw his opponent rushing at him. Beasley's taking the ruck, but it's beautifully knocked out by Cloak, but it's going, yes, it's all clear. Gavin Brown was backing up here for little Matt Ryan. He's got it and doubling back across the face of goal. The left foot kick is found his mark. Luckily for him, it was a beautiful pass. But if it went unstuck, there are enough Bulldogs there to make it nasty. But Christian, after taking the mark, drives on out here to the half-forward line, wing position where Banks has come right up the ground. Banks drives back to centre half-forward. Starcevic there's, Taylor's there, Kennedy goes up, fumbles the mark, is caught with a beautiful tackle by Starcevic, but the ball was trapped between them, and it's going to be a ball-up decision. I think that was fair enough. The umpire's just talking to Jamie Turner, who's really arguing about it, but it was fair enough because the ball was between both bodies rather than being held by Kennedy alone. And the umpire coming in to ball it up, just wide of the 60-metre line. It'll be about 55, 56 metres out. Up it goes. And the umpire said, warding away, and the free kick, blocking in the ruck, will be taken by Purser. He's gone for a handball, not a good one over to Foster, who gets to his feet after being tackled and boots out to the outer side, just gets away with it. Rance is over there, and he's playing from behind, Rance, and it's not good enough as far as the Bulldogs are concerned, because he's given away another free kick, and this is going to Christian, who's getting his confidence back after first having it really dented by Beasley in those opening moments of play. Christian in towards half-forward. Banks comes out, flies for the ball, and almost pay that, and the umpire is going to pay it. He juggled about 3 times and was still in the air, and Dennis was still grabbing hold of it a couple of times, and the umpire thought it was good enough for a mark. He centres the ball, but it's knocked away off the ground there by Maloney. Picked up here by Rosonico. He turns around, has a right foot into the pocket, and a beautiful foot pass by Rosonico straight to Starcevic, who is only about 20 metres away from the sticks. He's on an angle, but what we've seen of him in a couple of games so far has shown that he's a very capable footballer. Very capable. Going to label it, Jack? Too late, he's kicked it. Fires towards goal, and he's put it through, I'd say, for the Magpies, and that's their 5th goal, or 4th goal. Were they quick on the board? I think they've been quick on the board. It's 4 goals, 125 to Footscray, 6 goals, 642, and that is the Allen Communications scoreboard, and 3KZ is football.
How many reasons can you think of to rent the latest VHS video camera from Allen Communications? Ring 878-0299, 878-0299.
More scores, Bob Henderson at Geelong.
Geelong 7-4, 46 lead. Fitzroy 5 straight goals, 30.
And there's the bounce in the centre of the ground. Cloak gets the ball away, but it comes down towards the Footscray players. Bradbury coming through, though, crashes through the pack and holds the ball up. Gets a quick handball out to his teammate in Morwood. Morwood over to Atkins, who's in the play. A lovely pass over to Jamie Turner, and Turner goes up towards Taylor. Taylor goes up. Play on. That was a mark for mine, but Kennedy gets the ball out. The Collingwood crowd don't like that. Ford comes in. He's tackled, gets a little handball away, but coming through there is Rosonico. Shark the handball well. He's tackled, can't get the kick, but there's going to be a free kick. Rosonico's going to get the kick. Dragged over the shoulder, says umpire Russo.
I don't know whether that was correct, Jack, do you?
It was a little bit high.
Was it?
And yeah, just that fraction up under the shoulders it was there. I think he was a bit unlucky to have it given against him. Just the same, he had a chance to get rid of the ball, and he made the tackle. He never bobbed his head. He bent down just that fraction.
And Rosonico puts a wobbly kick in towards the pocket. Coming through there is Ryan. Picks up the ball, screws it back onto the left foot, up in towards the goal square. McGuinness is in there, and Kennedy shepherds well. This allows McGuinness to come out with a nice kick up towards Cronin in the back pocket. Cronin struggling to pick up the ball. Bradbury's in there, worried him out of that one. He's tripped. Bradbury picked up the ball. Cronin puts out his arm, grabs hold of Bradbury's leg, and a free kick goes to the Collingwood player.
Interesting, Jewel, both left footers are trying to get back on their left foot. One trying to pick it up and get around, and Bradbury trying to force him around that way and then get himself back on the left foot.
And it's Bradbury in the scoreboard pocket, no more than 35 metres out from goal. Onto the left foot. It's a lovely looking kick too. He's threaded that one through the goals, and Collingwood are looking much better in this second term. They move on to 5 goals 1. That's 31 points on the Allen Communications scoreboard. Footscray 6-6-42.
And just before Laurie made that comment, Jack, I was saying that just thinking that Collingwood is starting to look a lot better at the moment.
Oh, they're going in for the ball a lot harder there. He roused them up there at quarter time. There was no doubt about that. He said, go in after the ball for a change instead of looking before you go in.
And a few of the Footscray blokes are just sitting and watching at the moment.
They've gone back to where Collingwood have gone. Started.
That's right, they're sitting there looking. Purser and Cloak. Purser gets the knock away, comes down towards Rance, but McPherson comes through, picks up the ball onto the left foot, up in towards the pocket. Bamlett comes through hard. Kerrison's in there. James is battling, gets the ball onto the ground. Kerrison's in there. Brown comes in hard, but it's a free kick to James. Grabbed when he didn't have the ball. James on the 50-metre line, kicks up into the goal square. Royals leading out, and Royals taking the mark in the pocket. Goes for a little pass, kicks it backwards, kicks it down to about 30 metres out from goal, and coming through there to take the mark is Troy Maloney of Footscray. Well, Maloney must have followed Atkins down the ground. Maloney started off in the back pocket, and he's now 25 metres out from goal, trying to put one through for the Bulldogs. Atkins on the mark. Maloney being a backman, I don't think I'll label this one, Ian.
No, he's been basically a backman right through, I think, too.
Yes, puts it on. It's not a bad-looking kick, though. It's going close.
Have to be close. There's no one waved at the back.
But not close enough. Over the post for a point. Footscray, 6-6-42 on the Allen Communications scoreboard. That's 11 points in front of Collingwood, 5-1-31. Comes out towards number 44 in Kerrison. He gets a kick up towards the half-back flank. Bradbury's coming through there, trying to pick up the ball. A free kick downfield in the meantime. And it will go to Lockman, who's on the ground. He gets a kick over towards Keys. Keys runs around his opponent, kicks up towards Taylor. This is close. Taylor can't mark the ball though. Coming through there is Eccleston. He's tackled, tries to get a handball away. Holding the ball, say Collingwood, but it's play on to the umpire. Baxter gets the kick up towards the centre wing position. But all that play to no avail because the umpire's bringing the ball back. And it's forward to Footscray to get the free kick on the centre wing.
I didn't see what it was for either.
I think Lockman, when he took the ball before, it was the wrong way. And that's a good mark there by Kroll. Just nudged Bamlett right out of position, takes a good mark. Kicks over towards centre half-back. Paul Morwood takes a mark. He goes long over towards Christian, who's down on the half-forward flank. Picks up the ball nicely. Gets around for Brian Cordy well. Then onto the left foot. Kicks up in towards Starcevic. Starcevic goes up one-handed. Can't take the mark. Foster fights the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds in the forward pocket for a throw-in.
Speaking of one-handed, the passes to Bamble have been high, but he's gone up for the ball one-handed every time it's been to him.
He's not judging them either.
No.
Got underneath that one.
Purser gets a little knock down towards Petraglia. He shepherds and allows Foster to pick it up, but before he can stand up, he's tackled. The ball comes loose and back over towards Eccleston. Eccleston onto the left foot, kicks up towards the half-back flank. Cloak coming through as the players didn't read that ball. The ball hits the ground. Picked up by Cloak. Kicks up towards Starcevic. Almost took that mark. Coming through as Foster again. Dives on the ball. The ball comes out to Petraglia in the back pocket. He kicks it up towards the half-back flank. Cloak's there for Collingwood. Stood his ground. Almost took that mark, but it fell out of his arms at the right, just at the last minute. He dives back in on the ball. There's a big pack of players there. The ball was coming out Footscray's way, but in the meantime, the umpires decided to have a bounce.
As we check another score on KZ from George Ferry at Beardell Park.
Carlton 5-6-36 lead Essendon 2-5-17.
Down goes the ball again. Cloak in the front position, gets a nice knock away. It comes down towards Footscray though, and a little kick doesn't get anywhere. Cloak comes in, soccers the ball off the ground. Foster comes in, trying hard to pick up the ball. Does so now, gets onto the left foot, kicks it up towards the half-back flank. Lockman's in the good position and he takes the mark on the centre wing. Play on now, calls the umpire. Lockman onto the left foot, in towards the centre of the ground. A good mark there to Keys, but it falls out of his hands at the last minute and play on. He gets it over towards Christian. He trips over but gets a handball over towards Cloak. Cloak in towards Starcevic. He can't mark the ball. It's thumped away by the Footscray defenders over the boundary line and out of bounds for a throw-in.
Good mistakes, Jack.
No, they're either badly stopped or badly balanced. One of the two. Fancy players slipping over in vital spots too, Ian.
A nice knock away there by Purser finds Wallace. Wallace up on towards the half-forward flank. Cousins running out after the ball, but not before it goes over the boundary line and out of bounds for a throw-in.
With another score coming your way from Geraldburg and Richmond.
Sydney 6-8-44, 2 points in front of Richmond, 6-6-42.
And the ball comes in once again. Cousins in the ruck. Gets it down towards Petraglia. Wallace comes through. He's tackled. A little kick off the ground over towards Royal. Royal playing for a free kick. Holding the ball. Yes, a good decision there. Royal picked it up, dropped the ball out of his arms, and Brown come in, tackled him, and gets the free kick. Kicks up towards centre half forward. Cloak's coming out, but Foster's in there and takes a good mark in front of the Cloak, who was coming in pretty quick. Foster playing a good game, tries to get around Cloak, but he's tackled, then gets to his feet, kicks a wobbly torpedo up towards the half-forward line. Cloak comes in, playing for a free kick also, and the umpire won't have any of it. Cousins comes in, gets a handball out, but Lockman gets the ball back over towards Cloak. Oh, it's scrambly play, and now Maloney of Footscray comes away with a little left foot kick up towards McGuinness, but great play here, and great pace by Keys, picks up the ball and gets a little kick into his teammate Jason Kroll, who takes the mark on the half-back flank. Kroll comes now into the centre of the ground, up towards Starcevic, but Foster thumps it away, over towards Michael Ford. He ducks around and gets a left foot kick up in towards the centre half forward position. Steve McPherson coming out, but it's Christian of Collingwood gets there first and takes a mark. Goes to handball, then dummies around Royal, gets a handball over to Lockman. Lockman coming down the ground, a big handball into his teammate Janey Turner in the centre. He gets tackled and loses possession of the ball. It comes out towards Petraglia. Lockman goes in hard, met solidly, and the umpire comes in to ball it up.
As we check with Roy Simmons and Hawthorn.
Head West Coast 7-5-47, leading Hawthorn 6-5-41.
Bob Henderson at Geelong.
Geelong 10-5, 65 lead. Fitzroy 6 goals straight, 36.
Purser gets a knockout, but it comes down towards Jamie Turner. He tunnel balls that through his legs, but the Footscray player was in his back, and Turner takes a free kick in the centre of the ground. Collingwood going down to the scoreboard into the second quarter. A lovely pass over towards Rosonico. Rosonico plays on and lines up the goals, but he didn't take too good a look, and the kick's right across the face of goals, out of bounds in the scoreboard pocket for a throw-in.
Now Collingwood are starting to fiddle around a bit too, Jack.
Yes, marvellous. They got on top there early on Footscray, and now they're starting to... That was a bad one of Rosonico's, though. Just to say, he never had a look at the goal post. He just went crash.
In comes the ball again. Purser in the front position, but gets it down to the Collingwood player. He can't get a foot to the ball. It comes out towards Banks. He's tackled. Gets a handball across towards his teammate in Filkey. Filkey turns around, winds up the goals, and you can tell the result of that by the cheers of the Collingwood supporters. It's right through the middle, and on the Allen Communications scoreboard, Collingwood go on to 6-1-37. That's 6 points behind Footscray, 6-7-43.
3Ks it is, football.
Does your colour TV or video recorder require expert attention? For fast, efficient service, call Allen Communications on 878-0299. That's 878-0299.
After all that fiddling around, that was a nice educated goal, Jack.
Yes, it came from a good one that time from Taylor. Gave the hand pass to Filkey, and he just went bang. A beautiful hand pass, looking straight at the goals he was when he kicked it.
Cloak knocked it out beautifully to Turner, and Turner gets the kick in the half forward. That's got to be around the neck to the Magpies. It's been played that way against Baxter, and the free kick will go to Morwood. Morwood with the wall. Here comes Taylor giving a lead, but he's popped it straight up in the air. Not the best shot because Kennedy's at the back with that big fist, and how it goes. Thump out and down goes the ball. Bulldogs must get a push in the back this time, and Wallace will get to his feet to take it. Starcevic just grudgingly handing it back to him. Now he goes for a handball, goes over towards Royal. Royal's gone for a little daisy cutter pass, almost a stab kick pass to half-back to Eppleton. Gets it over there now, and it's to McGuinness. McGuinness with the left footer up to half-forward to Cousins, who's on the ground again. Cousins running around the boundary line. The ball's gone over the line and out of bounds, so we'll require another throw-in, and that's a good time to check with George Ferry at Vehicle Park.
Carlton 5-7-37, lead Essendon 3-5-23.
And a good knockout by Cloak down on the ground. There's a chance for Lockman, but the ball's beaten him over the line and out of bounds. Good ruck, Jules. I think in the man-to-man's Purse has won, Jack.
Yes, Cloak's now taking a big part in the game now at the present time, though. He went off the ground over something, then he come back. He's taken a big part in the game now.
And Cloak's got another knockout down on the ground. This is a chance for Ryan to break away. Has one bounce, eludes his opponent Purser coming at him, fires towards goal, but it's a stray. It's only another behind. The Allen Communications scoreboard shows 6-2 to Collingwood, 38 points. Footscray 6-7-43. Gerald Burke has a score at Richmond.
Sydney 7-8-50, lead Richmond 6-6-42.
And Roy Simmons at Hawthorn.
West Coast 8-6-54, leading Hawthorn 6-5-41.
Gone to sleep again, the Hawks. Here's the kick out to half-back, and Purser's taken the mark. Gets a 15-metre penalty and takes advantage of it and boots in towards the centre of the ground. A little push in the back there. Cousins goes up, and the umpire will play this good mark over the top to Christian. And he's got his tail up again. gets the handball over towards Keys, and Keys gets on the left foot, boots in towards centre half forward. Foster there, juggled it once and twice, was looking for the mark but not played. Rosonico dragged to the ground, but the umpire rushing in and says, I'm going to ball it up. Good battle with Starcevic and Foster at the moment, Jack.
Yeah, I think that Foster's still got the odds on him.
Now, umpire waited a couple of seconds to get the ball right. Oh, a big fly by Starcevic down on the ground to get the knockout, but it's kicked out here. A little left footer up to half-back by McGuinness. Gets it into clear territory. Maloney comes down the ground and boots it in towards the half-forward line. Up it goes in the air. In front there was Rance that time, and he couldn't take the mark. Bamber trying to force it out in front. He gets it over. A handball to Petraglia. He's on the right foot, which is his unnatural foot, and he fires towards goal. A one behind, but the umpire might give a push in the back. He might say it's a second kick to Petraglia. He will. You know, now you hear the hoots from the Collingwood fans. I'm going to say they took a while. You can see what we're standing out a mile there. And Petraglia will go back and get it. And by gee, this is one Footscray need, because at this stage they haven't scored a goal in the second term. And Collingwood have scored so far 3. Now Petraglia is only 20 metres out from goal. Almost got an avenue of honour for him as he comes in to line up, and Manson and a few others are giving him curry as he fires towards goal, and I think this one is through for a goal. A good kick by Petraglia, and one they needed, Jack.
I'll tell you what, never give a fellow like that 2 shots at goal, see, and that's one of the sins of football, and they gave him 2 shots for goal there, and he didn't miss that second one. He lined it up with the first one. He was off balance a little bit when he was coming in, pushed in the back, of course, and then he got that goal. That was a good goal.
Well, he was forced onto his right boot the first time, and he can settle back and kick it with his natural foot, the left foot, the second time. 7-7-49 to Footscray. Collingwood 6-2-38 is the Allen Communications scoreboard. Russo bounces the ball. Up goes Purser. Gets it down and goes after it again himself. A handball, a flying one by McGuinness comes out to Royal. Royal with a handball to Petraglia. The little men running. Oh, the handball by Petraglia is not a good one, a shocking one. Puts Royal in all sorts of bother. He decides to centre the ball, but he's gone the wrong way. Straight over to David Cloak. Got a knock on the elbow too at the time, Royal, and feeling the arm, but that stopped a good piece of play, that sloppy handball from Petraglia. The kick by Cloak goes into centre half forward. Up they go. Oh, Foster takes off and takes a very good mark. I think he's enjoying the challenge too, Jack.
Yes, he is. He's not a bad. As I said, he was underrated at Foster. I like his play.
Goes out towards the wing position on the outer side of the ground. Bulldogs the grandstand in the second quarter. After McGuinness takes the mark, he plays on and finds Cousins, who's hardly been sighted. Cousins runs down with a right foot kick. A bustle going on with Gayfer and Beasley. Beasley looking for a free kick. Footscray now saying, man on the ground's got the ball. What about a free kick? But the umpire didn't play that either. Christian taps it out. He's tapped it the wrong way to McGuinness. McGuinness fires towards goal. It's drifting away from line, and it'll be one behind only. 7-8, 50 points on the board to Footscray. Collingwood 6-2-38, and 3KZ is football.
How many reasons can you think of to rent the latest VHS video camera from Allen Communications? Ring 878-0299. 878-0299.
Jason Cole kicks the ball to himself, but he didn't even find himself that time. It bounced away from him. Bamblett after him, and Manson charges in after Bamblett for another attack at him. But he missed him that time, and Bamblett saw them coming. The kick goes into the centre of the ground. Wallace was looking for a free kick but doesn't get it. Filkey's playing the ball away, and Eccleston chasing after him, couldn't catch him. Filkey on the left foot in towards the forward line. Not too good for Brian Taylor. He was lumbering after it and couldn't get to it. Picked up there by Kennedy, who fires it back to half-back. It's knocked to the ground. Cronin's after his opponent there. Morwood goes in. That's going to be a kick to Morwood, I'd say. No, it's going Cronin's way. Morwood was down on the ground. He must have legged him going past, and the umpire didn't play the first little jab. There's the kick by Cronin. Oh, Rance goes over the top. Everyone falls to the ground. A fumble here, and they'll get out of it as Gavin Brown gets the handball over to Keys. Terry Keys with the left foot put off balance, but it's over the line and out of bounds, and the free kick will go Footscray's way, and Brian Royal waiting for the ball to come back from the crowd, but those Collingwood people don't want to give up the football. And the Collingwood people are saying, we're not going to give it back until we're all manned up down there. Can we suspend any spectators for time wasting?
No, you can't.
Or fine them? $2,000 per spectator for wasting time? Be a chance to make a killing.
Be hard to find him there, I think, Ian.
And Brian Royal runs around Bradbury, makes a fist of the job. I thought he was going to mark it all. Cronin's got to rush it onto his boot now. It's a floater into the full forward line. Bamblett missed the mark. Down on the ground, Matt Ryan grabbed. A chance for a pick-up. Ryan grabbed again, then taps it towards the boundary line, and it's over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. Some tense moments there for the Magpie supporters who could see another goal coming up. Boundary umpire throws it in. Cousins at the back of the pack, a good knockout, but straight to Bradbury. Doesn't pay any dividends. Bradbury out to the half-back line, and the mark has been taken by Cronin, right on the 50-metre line. That's to the centre of the goals. They're going to the pockets, and the mark is a little left-footer towards McGuinness. Now, Tony McGuinness, another left-footer. Although he threaded one through in the first quarter from the other end of the ground. Let's see if he can do the same at this end. So he's taking a little bit of an arc and fires towards goal. It might be the right a bit of angle. Oh, that's a lovely kick for goal, Tony McGuinness. Afterwards saying they're going to the pockets, but he did give him a bit of a hope and a lovely goal to make it 3-2 for McGuinness today. And the scoreboard shows Footscray 88-56 to Collingwood 6-2-38.
A very educated goal that way. And he took that circle, that arc to get back in his left leg, and I lined it up beautifully there. Never looked like missing from the word go. It was a good goal too, Footscray, one they really wanted.
Roy Simmons, another score at Hawthorn.
West Coast 8-6-54, leading Hawthorn 6-5-41.
Bounce to the ball in the centre at Victoria Park, and Purser gets it down. McGuinness a chance to break away, but tackle, gets a handball, and it doesn't go too far. Jamie Turner picks it up of the Magpies into the forward line of it. Bounces over the head of Brian Cordy. Picked up by Rosonico into the full forward line. Brian Taylor couldn't quite get to it. Picked up by Kennedy, coming through like a steam train. They stopped the locomotive for a second, but the locomotive got going again and picked it up and drove it out the half-back. Ford takes the mark. Handballs to Purser, who slips over, regains his feet, fires the forward line. Rance, you've got to go for it. Manson stands his ground. Was knocked, and the umpire's playing, no, play on. Down on the ground, I almost thought it might have been interference to Manson, if not the mark. What would you say, Jack?
No,
play on.
Decision that time.
Right, fair enough. Jack was always a great umpire's man.
Yes, I always knew what they were doing.
Up it goes in the air. Cousins get the knockout. Oh, Rance let it right over his fingers. Picked up by Royal. He fires for goal. Goal umpire says, yes, it is. And I can tell it's a goal because Simon Beasley was clapping, but behind the goals there was dead silence and no one moved. Footscray 9-8-62 on the board. Collingwood 6 goals, 2-38, the Allen Communications scoreboard, and 3KZ is football.
Only $25, that's all. Allen Communications will clean your VHS or beta recorder, improving your picture and protecting your tapes. Call Allen Communications on 878-0299.
Bob Henderson to score at Geelong.
Geelong 14-5, 89, lead Fitzroy 6 goals straight.
George Ferry at BFL Park.
Carlton 7-7-49, lead Essendon 4-5-29. Cloak from the bounce gets a nice little handball over towards Jamie Turner. He's tackled but gets a kick away. It comes down towards the half-forward line, but a thump away there by the Footscray players. Down towards Steve McPherson. McPherson playing a good game. Held when he didn't have the ball, will take the free kick. Kicks up towards Cousins, who's led out over in towards the social club pocket. He can't mark the ball, but it bounces nicely for him. Picks it up. Has one bounce, two bounces. He's on the boundary line. Now centres the ball in towards Rance. Rance has a diving second attempt at the mark. Can't do so, but he wrestles the ball away from his opponent, turns around on the right foot and puts it up in towards the pocket. Cousins is there, shepherded well by Bandlet, but Cousins beaten by the flight of the ball, can't control it, and it's over the boundary line and out of bounds for a throw-in.
Had a few chances there, Footscray, Jack.
He's not got much rhythm, that Cousins.
Manson in the front position, knocks it down to Morwood. He's tackled by Bamblett, tries to get a handball away. Bamblett rides him into the ground, and Morwood will take the free kick.
Very lucky boy, Jack.
I'll agree with you. Any time, that one.
A good tackle. Morwood goes across to the outer side of the ground and finds Lockman with a lovely pass. Rance on the mark. Lockman now got to wait for the players to catch up. There weren't too many to kick it to. Now he goes to the centre wing position. A long kick. Cloak's in there, but he stopped instead of going through the pack for the ball. The ball hits the ground. There's a free kick here. Will go to a Footscray player.
Foster.
And that looks like Foster with the ball.
Got a whack across the bush by Starcevich when he was going for the mark.
Foster onto the left foot. Up in towards centre half forward. Manson in the front position. Handballs out towards Jamie Turner. Turner over towards Christian. And Christian gets a lovely handball out to Lockman, who's making his influence felt again in this second term. Lockman with a big kick up towards centre half forward. Foster goes high though. Can't mark the ball in front of Starcevich. Now the ball comes loose for Starcevich, but he's shepherded and it comes away. The Footscray defence stands firm again. Wallace comes away with the ball. Kicks up towards centre half forward, but there's a wall of Collingwood players there, and the big man of the wall, Cloak, takes the mark. Handballs across to Kerrison. Kerrison goes wide out towards the wing position, and a magnificent mark out there by number 60, and that is Terry Keys. Gee, he flew high then, right over forward and pulled in a screamer. Kicks up towards centre half forward. Kennedy coming out there going hard for the ball, but the Collingwood player was grabbed when he didn't have the ball, and it's a free kick to Starcevich. It's Starcevich. Dennis Banks walking back with him, and it is Starcevich with the free kick, 40 metres out from goal, pretty well directly in front. Well, Kennedy with his momentum that time, going for the ball all the time, but Starcevic body and shoulders got in the way, and Kennedy was the infringer. Starcevic, that's a lovely looking kick up towards goal, but he leant back on it a little bit, and he's pulled it across the face of goals, through for a point to Collingwood. The Allen Communications scoreboard show Footscray 9.862, leading Collingwood 6.339.
And 3KZ checks again with George Ferry at Viathol Park.
Carlton 8.755 lead Essendon 4.529.
Gerald Burke at Richmond.
Sydney 7.951 trailing Richmond 9.862.
Kennedy goes to the outer side of the ground with a little kick over towards Michael Ford. Ford picks up the ball, drops it out of his hands, and as he dropped it, he's kicked it over the boundary line and out of bounds on the full. So it's a penalty-free kick to Collingwood. And it's Keys with the ball. He'd be a good 60 metres out from goal, but the siren's gone, so he's going to have a shot. Goes for a big torpedo, but it's not going to go anywhere near the goal area, and Kennedy comes away, thumps it away for the Bulldogs. And at half-time, the Allen's Communication scoreboard shows Footscray 9.862, leading Collingwood 6.339. That's a lead of 23 points.
Forward. Foster's got the job on him. As Jack mentioned before, Starcevic looked as though he'd been shifted to the flank. Well, Cloak is now centre half forward. Eccleston's got the job on Starcevic as the bounce of the ball goes in and Manson goes up, but Purser gets the knockout. It goes out in the open. Rosonico gets it, goes for the handball. Lockman is captured but gets a handball off. Goes into half forward. That's a trip. That's an accidental one, but it's still a trip. Keys picks up the ball. Handballs over to young Kroll. Two young players in the Magpie lineup. A handball to Turner, who's always just about around the ball or nearby, wherever the action is. Reads the play pretty well, Jamie Turner. And his pass is a good one to Starcevic, who might prove a very big handful for Eccleston. And Starcevic lines up. He's about 55 metres as he judges the goals, and now moves past the 50-metre line as he comes in to take his kick. It's not a bad sort of a goal, that one. That is a great goal from Craig Starcevic, and it's his second on the board. Jack, you'd like to say something?
That was a match for that one. It was one that they wanted very badly too. That first one after half-time, especially when you're behind like that, and he started to pitch. He put that through from a very acute angle here. We were watching very closely there. It was on a beautiful line and went right through the centre, and certainly should give them a lift if they're good enough now to take advantage of it.
The RACV scoreboard, Footscray 9.862 to Collingwood 7.345, and notice the runner for Footscray was straight out to Eccleston, and I'd say it's going to be dangerous times here for the Bulldogs with Starcevic out there. Picked up by McPherson off the bounce of the ball, a flying kick in towards the forward line. An awkward bounce beats about four players. Coming through there was young Kroll. He was given a little bit of a shove. I think it's going to be his free kick. Gets to his feet and goes away, gets the handball out to the half-back line. Breaking away, one bounces Lockman. He's coming right around, two bounces. Up to the half-back flank and takes a sprint. Now is caught. Ball hits the ground. Oh, in the back that time, umpire. No, holding the ball. It's going against the Magpies. And the drag Grant's back on the ground. He can't get away. And it's going to be a 15-metre penalty against Rosonico. And that'll bring Rosonico into the 50-metre line. Up it goes. The kick towards goal. Straight offline. And the umpire just stood there and watched as Norwood came in to take a good mark against Bamber. That swung away from Beasley, that one. It was a left footer's swing. Here's the kick by Morwood out to half-back in the wing position. Up they go. And Mark is going to be taken by the Magpies here. And Manson has grabbed it. Manson with the ball, gets a lead from Cloak, but he's ignored that and he's gone short, and it's not good enough because Steve McPherson is there to take the mark for Footscray. Goes for the handball. He was thinking about it and then decided the second time he would go for it. Over to Brian Cordy, a lead out by Beasley, and a lovely mark by Beasley. He hung in the air just that fraction and pulled it down. It looked as though for a moment he might have been in a lot of trouble, Jack.
He pulled it back nicely, the player coming down the ground there, to give him the opportunity to hang a little bit in the air there, and he had the player just that yard behind him. He knows where he is too, Beasley. He knew exactly where he was there, and he made it look pretty easy in the finish.
Well, while they virtually ignored Beasley in the second quarter, his first quarter was 2-1, and he is kicking very nicely. He's got the chance now from 40 metres out to put his third on the board. Comes in. Just allows a bit for the breeze, but that's a lovely looking kick off the boot from my angle, and the goal umpire says one behind. Good to him. Thank you very much. I was quite sure the way it was going that it was going to be a big one, but it wasn't. 9.963 to Collingwood 7.345. And the kick out is right out to the other side of the ground. Nice kick out too, and it's gone right over the half-back flank, and Lockman has taken the mark. Lockman with the ball. Might have to do something about Bamble, certainly, Jack.
Yes, get him off the ground the way he's going. He's got no judgment at all. He's had no games under his belt. He's trouble.
Kick is in the half forward. Cloak takes it off the back of the pack. Foster was looking for the free kick. It didn't come up. Oh, beautiful dash by Kennedy. Gets out of trouble. He's dragged to the ground, but he'd stopped the Magpie offensive, and the ball is stopping there at the 50-metre line. Well, he couldn't do much about that, Jack, when he was caught in the web of four players, and he did as well as he could.
That was his captaincy. That was good captaincy by Kennedy. He didn't flinch one issue, then he went straight in after him.
Bounce of the ball at centre half forward. Purser at the back of Cloak. Cloak falls to the ground. Ball falls around with him. Oh, scrambling football. The umpire forced the ball up. Have they started George Ferry at VFL Park?
Not yet, Ian.
Joy Berg at Richmond.
Just about to, Ian.
Roy Simmons at Hawthorn.
Yes, Westcast 8-7-55, leading Hawthorn 7-6-48.
We've got the bounce of the ball on the 50-metre line again. Up it goes. Cloak in front. Gets it down. A good knockout too, but it falls through two players, and Brian Cordy comes through. Picks up the ball for Footscray. Sends it out towards the wing position. Lockman given a little shove right in front of the umpire. Russo was there and said, "Naughty boy, Petraglia," and the free kick will go Lockman's way. Lockman giving signals over here to Rosonico, and Bamwood's picking him up, so now he has to go on and go deeper. In towards centre half forward. Taylor at the back, but Kennedy with a thumping punch right out 40 metres away. Picked up there by Rosonico coming down the ground. It's a bad handball to Turner. He's caught with a good tackle by McPherson. Atkins caught in the tackle. Gets a little boot into it. Picked up there by... it's picked up here by Cole coming down the ground. It bounced right away from his teammate, and Cole picks it up and finishes off a good piece of work. David Cloak had it in his grasp and just ripped over the back, and Cole backing up beautifully has come through, and gee, these boys show a lot of football, Jack.
Didn't they? He anticipated that quite a bit too. He was the top pace coming to that there. He must have thought he might miss this or something. He might bounce awkwardly, but did bounce a little bit awkwardly for Cloak, and he picked it up on the run at top pace, and he was out in the clear and going for home before him, and knew all about it as he popped it through the centre.
Collingwood up to 8-3-51 on the RACV scoreboard, and Footscray 9-9-63. Bobby Henderson a score at Geelong.
It's still half-time, Ian. Geelong 17-5, 107, Fitzroy 7-2-44.
Those lines open, never starts again. Here's the knockdown in the centre, picked up there with a nice knockout from Purser over to McGuinness. McGuinness with the left footer in the half forward. Umpires found a free kick. Now he's played the advantage rule to the Magpies, and this is Kroll again coming up. Two bounces, three bounces, is up to the wing. Thinking dummies the handball, and then decides to go for the kick. Nice play, son. Into half forward, and Manson comes across the track, goes into it. Foster gives him a little flick across the whoosh, and the 15-metre penalty is going to be applied. And now here's three experts going to tell Manson how to kick the ball. It's a bit late when he's shooting for goal. How'd you be in a grand final 1 point behind with Manson lining up for you? You wouldn't really feel confident, would you?
He had that mark to Cloak. He shepherded beautifully from that time to give him that run at that ball.
Now, Manson, a lovely footballer in every aspect apart from when he puts boot to ball. Comes in, shoots towards goal. He's made a good one out of this one. We've mossed him enough. We've put enough dirt over him, and he's come up roses. And it's through for a goal. And the Magpies are right there sniffing at the Bulldogs' heels. And remember, Footscray have got, what if there is a breeze in this quarter. 9-3-57 of the Maggies, Footscray 9-9-63, and 3KZ is football.
The RACV's travel and touring service takes care of your holiday arrangements for Australia or overseas. It's another benefit of being an RACV member.
Back in the centre of the ground. It's a good bounce too. Purser gets the knock away. It comes down towards Steve McPherson. He picks it up. Manson gets a tackle in, but McPherson does get a kick away. It goes over towards Felke. Felke takes the mark and will get the free kick as well. Felke just wide of the centre of the ground. Now goes to play on. He turns around onto his left foot. Gets a kick away. Kicks up towards Taylor. Taylor and Darren Baxter leading out. Baxter being interfered with there. Will get the free kick. The Collingwood player there, Matt Ryan, playing from behind, had his elbow in the middle of his back, and Darren Baxter takes a free kick. Handballs across to Foster. Foster comes down towards centre half back with a little kick in. Oh, that was lucky there. Collingwood player got high, but forward comes through. Felke comes through. Could have been a free kick. It comes down towards Brown. Brown a little kick around towards centre half forward, but Purser's in there and takes the mark to relieve the pressure for Footscray. Gets a handball away over to Maloney. Maloney picks up the ball and he goes down the outer side. It's not a good kick. Comes down towards Bradley, but Cronin comes in. Picks up the ball. Handballs over to Steve Wallace. Wallace back to Maloney. Maloney's now running down. Has one bounce and leaves the ball behind him. Picks it up again. He's tackled. Handballs over the boundary line. It'll be a throw in, but the Collingwood supporter said, what about the free kick? Maloney doing everything right except when he bounced the ball, he left it there. Not good enough in league football. Good knock away that time by Manson. It comes down a big pack of players. Could be a free kick there to Collingwood. McGuinness was laid in onto the pack, and it'll be Bradbury of Collingwood to take the free kick on the centre wing on the outer side of the ground. Bradbury with the left foot kick up in towards centre half forward. Starcevic is there. He's led onto the ball. Coming through was Keys, but he can't pick it up. A handball there, not a good handball to Footscray, and it comes out towards Christian. He gets onto the ball. Coming through there is Eccleston, holds the ball in onto Christian, and the umpire will come in to bounce it up.
That was a low-rising handball, Jack. It was too, and he wasn't ready for it. Christian, not the other fellow, that Eccleston wasn't ready for it either, to make it worse.
It's a good bump away by Cloak too, but it comes out to Cordy. He gets a handball away. Lucky there. Went straight towards Atkins, and it's a free kick to Footscray. Cordy to take the free kick. Handballs across to Foster. Foster now onto the left foot. Comes out towards the Social Club pocket and puts a big kick in towards Steve McPherson. Turner gets into front position and knocks the ball cleverly away from Steve McPherson over the boundary line and out of bounds for a throw-in.
Turner's really made himself into a footballer, Jack. Yes, hasn't he? Over the period, hasn't he? He turned into a really good run. I was wondering how he's going to go this year because he looked like he had the makings last year.
In comes the ball again. Purser in the front position, but Cloak gets a knock away. Down to Maloney of Footscray, however. And Maloney kicks up towards the half-forward flank. It bounces beautifully for Christian. He comes through on the right foot, kicks in towards the centre of the ground, but Purser's there and takes a good diving mark. Purser now looking for someone to kick it to. He can't handball it, nobody's leading, so he goes long. Beasley leads out. It's a big kick up towards him. At the back, a good mark there. I'd pay it to Gafer, and so does the umpire. And now he'll get a 15-metre penalty to bring him up towards centre half-back. Good mark that time by Gafer. He out-bustled Beasley, and another 15-metre penalty. He's up near the centre of the ground. Kicks up towards the half-forward flank now. Cordy comes from the back and knocks it down, but Atkins roving well. Picks up the ball, kicks in towards the pocket, looking for Taylor. Taylor comes out, picks up the ball, gets away from Kennedy, goes to handball, handballs to Cloak, not a good handball. Keys picks up the little kick by Cloak, kicks towards goals. It's going across the face of goal. Bradbury's in there fighting hard for it. Cronin comes in, and those players knock the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds for a throw-in.
George Fetty, a score at VFL Park.
Well, there's a decent yoke on at the moment, Carlton 10-7-67, Essendon 4-5-29.
Cloak in the front position, knocks the ball down. Coming through there is Brown, but can't get the kick away. This will be a ball up, 20 metres out from the Collingwood goal.
Gerald Berger score at Richmond.
Richmond 13-8-86 leads Sydney 7-10-52.
Roy Simmons and Hawthorn.
Hawthorn 9-6-60 leading West Coast 8-8-56.
And the ball's bounced up once again. Purser in the front position. Could get a free kick, but play on calls the umpire. Over to Foster. Foster a handball out to Eccleston. Eccleston goes long. It's over the boundary line on the full. This will be a free kick to Collingwood, and Terry Keys will take it in the Social Club pocket. And the angle very acute. Doesn't go for goals. He puts a short pace in there to his teammate, and Gavin Brown coming across made a good lead, and he's got the ball on a much better angle, about a 45-degree angle, and he'd be no more than 35 metres out from goal.
The way he disposes of the ball, you'd say he's got a great chance of kicking it.
Gavin Brown coming in. Nice run up towards goals. It's a nice looking kick. Going closely. Oh, and it's hit the very top of the post. And it's Collingwood's turn in this quarter to hit the post. Collingwood 9-4-57 on the RACV. 9-4-58, that is the RACV scoreboard. Footscray 9-9-63. A difference of 5 points. We're played 13 minutes into the third term. Ricky Kennedy. A nice drop punt out towards centre half back. A big pack of players. It's a mark there to Collingwood. And going up, taking a big mark was Jamie Turner. A good mark, that one.
Didn't know he could get up that high.
In fact, he was so high, he looked bigger than he is. It looked the bigger man who took that mark. Taylor, but it's punched away by Kennedy. This will bounce forwards Atkins of Collingwood. He goes for a little kick over towards Rosonico, unmarked. Rosonico now on the 50-metre line, goes for a little short pass. It was a terrible one. This allows Ford to come through, but he's met by a wall of 3 Collingwood players. They fight for the ball. Ryan gets the ball out. A little kick there goes in towards a teammate there in Starcevic. It comes down towards Atkins again. A flying kick towards goal by Terry Keys, and he's put it through, and Collingwood are going ahead they've hit the front in the third term. 10-4-64 Collingwood. 1 point in front of Footscray, 9-9-63, and that's on the RACV scoreboard.
3Ks it is football.
The RACV's travel and touring service takes care of your holiday arrangements for Australia or overseas. It's another benefit of being an RACV member.
I think it happened about 5 to 10 minutes ago, Jack, but the Bulldogs have really got to look at their players out in the ground. Mickey Malthouse has got them moving.
They've got the runs coming in, the one I was talking about there before, and when they get it going, by gee, they play confidently.
Here's the bounce of the ball. It was knocked out there by Cousins having a run in the ruck. But Christian picked it up, a little kick into the half-forward line. Wallace was steamrolled, but no free kick paid. Picked up there by Bradbury. Bradbury into the forward pocket. Good bounce to the ball. Umpire says it's going against Taylor. It's going to Kennedy, who's played a great captain's game for the Bulldogs. He takes it, handballs over to Maloney. Maloney out to the wing, and the mark will be going to Wallace. Wallace with the ball, jumps inside the boundary line, handballs to Cousins. Cousins stops, goes back, they tackle. Looks for a handball. This time it comes off to Petraglia, but he won't go. Oh, he's in trouble and he's out of it again. Gets a handball back to Cousins. That looked bad, but they've got away with it with a kick into the forward line. Beasley out, and Beasley marks to the 48-metre line. Gafer made him earn it. Might be just a fraction far out for Simon too. 50 metres will just about stretch him. The breeze is going slightly towards the pocket there, but more across the ground. We'll just see if Beasley can stretch that extra little bit. They certainly need the goal at the moment. There's one man in the goal square. Looks like Purser right down there. Plus his opponent, of course. As Beasley comes in. Let's go. Oh, he's tried too hard. It's turned into a very wonky flat punt. And it's dropped about 10, 15 metres short, and the mark taken by Kroll. He's gone out to the half-back line, and a good mark over here to Gafer. He was ready to go on. The umpire said he wasn't over his mark, so Gafer goes back to take the kick. Gafer comes in, drives out along the boundary line up towards half-back. Up goes Cronin, gets the knock to the ground. Cousins runs in, picks up the ball, a long handball. A chance for Darren Baxter, goes for a short pass. This is looking good to Brian Royal, and Royal is marked 30 metres away from the sticks. Royal has the chance to stop the rot for the Bulldogs. He's improved his goal kicking, Brian. He was very, hit and miss, slap happy is correct, Jack. But he's improved it a lot. He's picked up in that department of his game, so we won't write him off as a chance here. Comes in. Looks all right onto the boot. How's it go for a direction? Goal umpire turns around and says one behind only, and Bulldogs are 9 goals, 10-64. It's level pegging. The more accurate Collingwood is 10-4-64 at the 16-minute mark of the third quarter. That's the RACV scoreboard, and 3KZ is football.
For personal loans without complications, RACV Finance Limited gets rid of the red tape. It's another benefit of being an RACV member.
The Magpies continually play on from that full-back line. Trolled it at that time and got the kick out the half-back. Another handball over towards Gafer, and Gafer gets it up towards between wing and centre. In goes Keys. He handballs it out to Gafer. Gafer almost throws it in the hand of Keys again, and Keys in the half-forward. Up they go. Foster knocks it away from Cloak. Filkey comes in, quick to get boot to ball. Picked up by Manson. Manson's going to make a complete way. No, he's not. He's going to make my earlier comments correct. He's flown it right over the line and out of bounds. He just could not steady and settle for that one, and it was a shocker. A terrible kick. So it remains level pegging. Collingwood 10-4-64 to 9-10-64 by the Bulldogs. The Magpies looking a lot better at the moment. Big mark taken over there by Manson. Went for a handball. It was smothered, and then kicks the ball into half forward. They've come from everywhere. Foster in the back got the knock to the ball. Keys in the plenty of action. Picks it up. All going on with his head first is Petraglia. And I agree with the Collingwood crowd. You know, when players go in with their head down from the start, of course you're going to hit them.
Of course you've got to hit them. What, are you going to let them go, get out of the road or something? There, it's quite right. They were quite wrong, that decision.
There's the kickers. Petraglia handballs over towards Foster, and Foster out towards half-back. It's taken by Ford. Goes down towards the centre half-forward position. Coming across as James almost held the mark, but the umpire said no. In goes McGuinness. Haven't sighted much of him in the third quarter. Tries to get it out, but Morwood's in there. Gets the ball back and puts a little pop gun pass over the top towards Banks. I don't know where Banks is playing at the moment, but he's more down on the back line than he is in the forward line. Half-back flank, is he, Pete? Interesting move by the Maggie selectors. Quite obviously the way they're playing, not doing any harm. And Dennis drives up towards the wing, and Manson comes across the pack again and takes a very good mark. He's got a good pair of hands.
Oh, he's got a lovely pair of hands, hasn't he?
Boots in towards the centre of the ground. Up it goes. Cronin knocks it away at the last moment from Starcevic. In goes Rosonico. Gets it over to Starcevic with a handball to Keys. Gee, I like his style. Keys fires up to the forward line. It's going over the head. Taylor falls to the ground, but he didn't mark the ball. Oh, he's paying it. The umpire couldn't see it. Brian Taylor's big bolt, and even Kennedy didn't know that he had missed the mark. Brian fell to the ground and missed it. It hit below his body and fell to the ground. Kennedy looked around to see the ball next to Taylor as he took it in, and Kennedy didn't know that he'd missed the mark, and nor did the umpire, but we're in the perfect position to see that Brian Taylor had spilt the mark and it had fallen to the ground. But that's the luck of the game. You win some, you lose some. Taylor comes in, 4 metres out, and puts it through, and the Magpies are in front. 11-4-70 to Footscray, 9-10-64. That's the RACB scoreboard, and 3KZ is football.
An RACB vehicle inspection can save you a lot of time, trouble, and money when you're buying a new or used car. It's another benefit of being an RACB member.
3 goals on the board to Brian Taylor. Little humorous there, Jack. In some ways. Not humorous for Footscray, but slightly humorous.
I think Kennedy woke up, it wasn't a mark.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, he went to grab him there, but he couldn't grab him because he was laying at that stage. He had the ball back in his stomach and he couldn't do anything about it.
Here's the bounce of the ball in the centre, and Cousins a big knockout. In goes Purser at centre half forward. The umpire said it was dropping the ball. And fortune not favouring Footscray at the moment, and Banks is going to take it. Bounced in front of him, but the umpire said he could have reached over and grabbed it. And here's the little short pass over to Gavin Brown. Oh, he spilled it. Goes for the handball now to Christian coming down the ground. And a flying kick into the forward line. Taylor sets himself, goes up, but couldn't quite get it. Wallace goes in. Couldn't quite get it away. In goes Petraglia. Is caught. Ball hits the ground. That's a throw out that time to Royal. Umpire couldn't see it was on his blind side. Wallace gets it after the handball by Royal into the centre of the ground. McPherson goes up. Couldn't take the mark. Rance comes down. Met beautifully by Banks, but rode the tackle well. Boots with the left foot up to Beasley. Gayfer is there. Bounces away from Gayfer and Beasley. Gayfer first to recover. Heads to the boundary line. Handballs it out, but Beasley's there. Beasley runs it around, but it's over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. In a moment, Laurie takes the action on, but George Ferrier scored at VFL Park.
Carlton 10-10-70, lead Essendon 5-5-35.
Gerald Berg and Richmond.
Richmond 15-9-99, lead Sydney 9-12-66.
Purser and Manson do the battle. Purser gets a little knockout. It comes down towards Maloney. He's fighting hard for the ball. There's a big pack of players there, and Bradbury comes in, tries to get a kick away. It's knocked out of his arms over the boundary line for another throw-in.
Roy Simmons has scored Hawthorn.
Hawthorn 9-9-63, leading West Coast 9-8-62.
Bob Henderson at Geelong.
Geelong, 20 goals, 6-1-26 lead. Fitzroy 9-4-58. Linda 5 for Geelong.
And Manson gets the knock away, but down into a big pack of players. Nobody can clear the ball, and umpire Russo will come in to ball it up. 35 metres out from the Footscray goal. Footscray kicking down to the scoreboard end in the third term. And there's a fight on behind the play. Rosonico and Tazaris it is. I'll follow the action. A good knockout there goes towards Atkins. He can't get a kick away, but it comes out to Dennis Banks. Dennis Banks is running and kicks the ball from centre half back up towards centre half forward. Foster's in there. Cloak knocks the ball away, but coming through nicely to pick it up again is Foster. Foster turns around, kicks the ball up towards the centre of the ground. It's knocked away by the Collingwood players, but Petraglia comes in, gets a handball. Christian following up well, picks up the ball, screws the ball around over towards Cloak. Foster almost took the mark, falls to the ground, and the umpire said, Cloak, you got into Foster's back. The Collingwood crowd don't agree, but the free kick goes to Foster. Playing a great game at centre half back, Foster. The pressure hasn't got to him as it has to many of the other Footscray footballers. Nice kick that time by Foster, finds Cousins out on the centre wing position. Cousins handballs over to Cronin. Cronin up to the half forward flank. Purser in there fighting hard for the ball. The ball's knocked away from him and it's over the boundary line for a throw in.
Well, left footers in the Footscray side when you come to think of it, aren't they? Foster, Petraglia, Cronin, McGuinness.
Might be too many of them. In the ball comes. A good knock away by Manson, but one of those left footers, McGuinness gets a little kick away, but it goes to Manson again. Gets a handball away to his teammate, and it's Collingwood come away. A big leap there by Starcevic at centre half forward, almost took that mark. The ball's down on the ground. Forward of Footscray gets a little kick in towards his teammate in Rance. Rance to Cousins. Cousins a long handball to Royal. Royal at the 50-metre line. Turns around, lines up the goals. The wind's taking it across the face of the goals and through for 1 point to Footscray. The RACV scoreboard, and I think they could come out and look at Footscray. Their motor's stopped. Footscray 9-11-65. Collingwood 11-4-70.
3Ks it is football.
The RACB's emergency breakdown service helps get your car going 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's another benefit of being an RACB member.
Gaffer with the ball at full-back. Comes out towards the scoreboard pocket, up towards Manson. Got to be a free kick there to Manson. Ford come in late, grabbed him around the neck, and it's a play-on call. The ball comes out with a string of hand passes from Collingwood, but Cousins chips in nicely. Gets the ball over to Steve McPherson. McPherson over to McGuinness. McGuinness on the left foot, lines up the goals. It's a lovely-looking kick by McGuinness, and he's put that through. And did Footscray ever need that one? They certainly did. The RACV scoreboard, Footscray 10-11 will be 71 points. They're back in front. Collingwood 11-4-70.
4 goals to Tony McGuinness, and around the goals he's looked nice, Jack.
Very nice. He knew he was a left foot kick. He gave it to him across there nicely to McPherson. He got it on the run there. He really went after that goal too. He lowered his head, put the ball in his boot, and it went right through. Beautiful kick.
And it's Cousins of Footscray in the ruck. Down goes the ball. Favours Cousins too, and he gets a nice thump away. Rance overruns the ball. Petraglia comes through, but Kroll picked up the ball and blind turns beautifully. Now gets a kick up towards centre half forward. Tazaris on the ground, follows the ball up. It comes over the back of the pack. Picked up by Tazaris, and he kicks long out towards the half forward flank. But Lockman, playing in front of Petraglia and playing a good game, comes in to take the mark for Collingwood. Lockman with a big kick up towards the centre wing. Manson goes up uncontested and takes the mark. Handballs across to his teammate coming down the ground, and a long kick up there towards Taylor. Kennedy's in the front position. He gets a handball back. Kennedy over to Cousins. Cousins a handball over the top, and it's Footscray coming away. Cronin gets it to McGuinness. McGuinness over to Peter Baxter. Baxter back to McGuinness. They're down to the centre wing position. Get McGuinness onto the right foot up towards Royal and Rance, and Rance coming in takes the mark in the forward pocket. Would be no more than 35 metres out from goal. Sorry, Ian?
No, I was just going to say I thought they were going to overdo that handball there, but they got away with it nicely.
Yes, they just handballed enough to get somebody loose, which was McGuinness, and he got the pass in. Rance goes for a little pass. Now it's over Purser's head. Purser was standing there not expecting it. Oh, a sloppy bit of play. It's picked up and it's cleared by Kroll. Kroll's kick goes into the pack though. Royal picks the ball up, comes back out of the pack, lines up the goals. The wind is taking it across the face of goals and through for another behind to Footscray. Well, mistakes galore there. Footscray 10-12-72. 2 points in front of Collingwood, 11-4-70. We're into the time on period in the third quarter.
Oh, the Purser's got much energy left, Jack.
No, he's walking instead of running. This is the time you should be running.
Straight down the centre of the ground is the kick out. Up towards centre half back. Punched away over to Darren Baxter. Baxter gets a little kick in. But Collingwood stand firm there, and the ball comes out to Rosonico. Rosonico a kick over towards Christian. Christian has the ball. Handballs across to his teammate Jamie Turner coming down the ground. He picks the ball up and hits it along the ground over towards Keys. Keys onto the right foot. He's a lovely kick up towards Starcevic. A big pack of players. Starcevic knocks the ball down towards Bradley. Got to be a free kick to Bradley. Cronin got right in the middle of his back, pushed him to the ground, and now Bradley has the free kick. He's on the 50-metre line. Collingwood kicking down to the grandstand end in the third turn.
It'd have to be a chance, you know. It's not a bad sort of a kick of football, Bradbury.
He's in the good pocket too. It's pretty easy to kick a goal from there. And he's put his boot right into that one. It's going to fall short. Oh, Taylor takes a magic mark in the goal square. Well, it's difficult to describe, but Cousins was there. Taylor went up initially in an effort to punch it away because Cousins had the best position, but Taylor hung in the air and the ball fell into one of his arms, and he took the mark lying backwards across Cousins' back and fell to the ground in a very spectacular fashion.
I thought he'd fainted when he got so high and kept the ball.
He might have done. Taylor goes in and bangs it through. And that's put Collingwood back in front. And that's goal number 4 to Brian Taylor. The RACV scoreboard showing now Collingwood 12-4-76. 4 points in front of Footscray 10-12-72.
And around the grounds we go while we're hot. George Felly at VFL Park.
Carlton 10-11-71 lead Essendon 5-6-36.
Gerald Burke at Richmond.
Richmond lead by 40 points. 17-11-113. Sydney 10-13-73.
Roy Simmons at Hawthorn.
Three-quarter time, West Coast 10-9-69, leading Hawthorn 9-10-64.
Bob Henderson at Geelong.
Geelong 21-6-132, lead Fitzroy 10-5-65.
And it's not a good bounce that favours Cousins. He picks up the ball and goes onto the left foot up towards centre half forward. Lockman tried to mark the ball. James coming in Rosewell. Over towards his teammate there in Royal. Royal lines up the goals. Oh, goes down into the goal square. Purser coming in there. Tried to mark the ball. Couldn't do so. It comes down to Beasley. He overruns the ball. The Collingwood defenders come in and jump on it. And it will be a ball up in the scoreboard pocket.
While you were calling it, I just got it out of the side of my eye. Laurie, Rance and the umpire, Russo, collided and they were down on the ground. And I think they were both feeling their head at the time.
The ball up goes to Purser. Purser tries to give a big thump away, but it comes off the top of his hand over the boundary line and out of bounds for a throw-in.
Of course, Purser's been rucking against Cloak, Manson and also Starcevic, Jack, and I think it's taking its toll.
It might be too. Go and keep going.
It's all right, I say. Purser got the front position that time, but the ball comes down towards Morwood. Morwood grabbed when he didn't have the ball and will take the free kick. He comes out towards the centre wing position on the grandstand side. McPherson goes, I must give a free kick away there. Went up before acceptances, and Jamie Turner, the recipient of the free kick. Playing a great game, Turner. He will come down the grandstand wing with a long kick up towards centre half forward. Starcevic goes up uncontested. Didn't take the mark though. That allows Tezaris to come in and get a little left foot kick away. But there's the big man Manson standing firm at centre half back and takes the mark. That awkward kick comes now up towards centre half forward. Starcevic comes out. He was in front on that occasion and takes the mark. But he's too far out for goal to have a shot.
He's going to have a shot though.
A half-hearted shot. Yes, and it doesn't get much past the 50-metre line. And the three-quarter siren has gone. The RACV scoreboard showing Collingwood with a 4-point lead.
And they're set to go with Manson taking a big run into the ball, but up goes Cousins and gets it out, and the handballs are back over the back. A quick chance there for McPherson. Gets a little kick in towards the half-forward line. Bamford overruns the ball as Jack sits sadly out of touch. Morwood backsteps. Oh, he's caught holding the ball. The umpire allowed play to go on. Here's a chance for Gayford to knock it further afield, and it goes over towards the boundary line, over the line and out of bounds. I'll tell you who's missing for Collingwood. Mullane must be on the bench too. I didn't sight him all that last quarter.
No.
And Kerrison's the other one. Well, the moves have paid dividends as far as Lee's concerned. Now, Footscray have got to get a few moves to pay dividends. It got knocked down at Petraglia. He was caught, though, at a good tackle. The ball spills to ground, and it's going to be another ball up about 30 metres out from the sticks. In Footscray's forward zone, they're going towards the grandstand in this the last quarter. Umpire sends a good bounce, goes wide. Rance gets it down on the ground. A chance, though. Oh, good play. Cole gets it over the top to Rosonico, and Rosonico goes out to the half-back flank. Up it goes. Better judge ball by Cousins. This one on the ruck seems to be doing a bit of good for him, Jack.
Yes, and that was a good mark. He doesn't take many of those either, and he's a fumble as far as aerial work is concerned.
Going for a short pass down to McGuinness, and McGuinness takes the mark and now drives it in towards Beasley. Out in the centre of the ground, and 4 Collingwood players around Beasley as the ball's thumped away. A pick up here by Cronin, dragged to the ground. Umpire said it's held to him, and it's going to be a ball up. And Bradbury gets up and taps him on the head. Collingwood fans, of course, were screaming out there for the free kick for holding the ball. Knocked down. Lockman gets the ball, boots it out towards half-back, goes towards the centre of the ground with a bounce. Eccleston knocks it away. A chance for Maloney coming through. Good play by Maloney. Taps it out when he is solidly met. Picked up there by Atkins. Atkins gets a tip wide. It's going towards the boundary line. McGuinness slips over in a practice wicket area. Dodges one tackle, gets a handball in. It goes too quickly to his teammate. Now it's Cousins getting a kick around. Goes to half-forward. Little Petraglia after it. Flips it over his head for McGuinness. He's caught, dragged to the ground. Ball still flying free. A chance here for the Bulldogs. Handball to Petraglia. He's on the left foot, fires towards goal. Good work by Gayfer. Gayfer was just shepherding Beasley right away from the action and allowed his teammate to go in and take a very easy mark. And going back now to take that kick is Paul Morwood. He was coming towards the grandstand side, and the umpire said, no, hang on, you've gone the other way, you're going to have to kick that way. His kick is right out towards the other side. Ford lost it in the sun, I think, when he was going towards it, and it's almost hit him on the head and the top of the chest and bounced over the line and out of bounds. If he'd let it go, it probably would have been his free kick anyway because it was over the line. But he just touched it before the line. Or it touched him more than anything. He couldn't sight it. Flipped over the back and picked up by Jamie Turner, having a great day now in the centre. In towards the half-back line. Cloak goes in. It's flipped over the back and towards the boundary line, over the line and out of bounds. Footscray runner out in the ground. Maybe a move coming off. As the boundary umpire prepares to throw it in, we're now in a Magpies half-forward zone. Up they go, and a good knockout by Cousins gets it down to the ground. Ball was just dwelling there waiting for someone to pick it up, and the Bulldogs didn't go in after it. Now Petraglia changes his mind and goes in, but his kick is a shocker. Straight towards Christian. And Christian of Collingwood goes back in after taking the mark. He was thinking of going on, but he had a Rance holding him pretty securely, and then when the umpire said let go, Rance did. Kick is in the half-back. Cousins goes up, gets the ball to the ground. Ball hits the deck. Petraglia gets a little handball out to Cousins. Back towards Petraglia. He's well shepherded by Cousins. In fact, Cousins showing a bit of form since he's come over from the west. But the kick in towards the half-forward line is picking out the Collingwood big men, and Manson takes an easy mark over small players. His kick is not good, but Keys showing a lot of courage, stands his ground as the players charge in after him, and he's taken the mark and gets a 15-metre penalty. Keys looks more than 16 years old, I'll tell you, and plays more like an experienced campaigner. Goes in towards half-forward, up they go, Foster in front, nearly grabbed the mark. Picked up there, and a flying kick by Tazaris into half-forward. Where to? Two Collingwood big men, and Manson goes over the top to take the mark. Footscray playing very poorly at the moment and not picking out their man. Kroll goes for a handball down the ground. It ends up with Keys. He ducks around two players, fires into the forward line. Up it goes in the air. Kennedy and Taylor doing battle. Kennedy knocks it away from Taylor. It's on the ground. Kennedy comes in again, picks it up, goes for a little short pass out towards the wing. A chance over here for the Bulldogs, Maloney to make it, and I should say McGuinness to make it. Couldn't do so. It's over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. Umpire throws it in. Cloak goes up, gets it down to the side. A chance to break across the front of the pack. Oh, McPherson overran it badly, and his opponent Turner picks it up quickly, drives to half forward, goes down towards the pocket. Taylor comes out, missed the ball, and it's over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. 5 minutes gone, not too much scoring so far in this last quarter. Neither side has moved the scoreboard. It's still 4 points the difference in Collingwood's favour. Cloak goes up, gets it down, still hanging on to it. Now sends out a handball, another handball over there, and a flying kick in towards goal. Good play by Cloak. And who was it that kept it off? It was Gavin Brown. Good piece of play, but Cloak, I think you'd give the credits to, Jacks.
Yes, yeah, that's the one thing that I do like about Cloak and the ruck and around the ground, that when he does get the ball, he knows what to do with it. And he's always got that man in his eye, and he had him that time, Brownie. He just had the hand pass. Well, he was on the ground himself, too, at that stage, Cloak, but he knew he was there, and he kicked a very easy goal.
Collingwood 13-4-82 now, 10 points in front of Footscray, 10-12-72. The tip-top scoreboard, and 3KZ is football.
This quarter is proudly brought to you by Tip Top High Fibre, Melbourne's footy bread.
Good on you, man. Tip-top's the one. Good on you, man.
Purser back on the ground. James is off. Banks picking up Purse from the forward pocket. And Peter just mentioned Mullane's thigh is heavily bandaged, and he's sitting on the bench.
Up goes the ball in the centre. A nice knock away by Manson over towards Ryan. Ryan a kick up towards full forward. Taylor comes out. Kennedy had the front position, but the ball bounces awkwardly. Kennedy comes back. Taylor was appealing for the free kick, but Kennedy playing the ball, kicks it down towards centre half back. Cousins goes under the ball. Keys picks up the ball onto the left foot, kicks up back in towards centre half forward, but running back for Footscray to take the mark is Cronin. Foolishly plays on. He's tackled and the handball goes wild. Picked up by Starcevic. He tried the blind turn but was tackled. Comes out towards Petraglia. He gets a handball to Darren Baxter. Baxter over to Eppleton, and Eppleton has one bounce. Then an awkward looking handball over towards Cousins. It's a terrible handball, and coming through is Cole. Intercepts beautifully, but his kick is smothered. It goes into the hands of Petraglia, and Petraglia up towards centre half forward. Rance overruns the ball. Dennis Banks coming through, picks up the ball. Handballs across to the centre of the ground to Rosonico. He handballs back towards Jamie Turner. Turner over towards Banks, and Banks a lovely kick in towards the centre half forward position. And Gavin Brown, showing a lot of promise today, comes in to take the mark at the centre half forward position, no more than about 47 metres out from goal. Well, we've got a good wall up at centre half back, Collingwood. Rance has just got to compete with Big Manson and a couple of other big players, and they're clearing the ball from that position very easily. Gavin Brown comes in, kicks the ball. He hasn't allowed for the wind, and it's going further away, over into the pocket. Kennedy punches the ball away. Starcevic picks up the ball, holding the ball. Had an attempted kick, I thought, that time, but according to umpire Russo, he made no attempt to get rid of it, and the free kick will go to Footscray's Eccleston. He puts a little kick in towards centre half back, where Petraglia has found good position and takes the mark. He goes for a little kick over towards Royal on the half back flank. Royal now looking to play on, but Big Cloak's on his mark. and that sends Royal back. Royal now goes for a big kick up to the wing position. Christian's over the back, knocks it high. Dennis Banks picks up the ball. Handballs across to Rosonico. Rosonico's tackled and gets a handball away, but it comes over towards Footscray, and coming through there was Steve Wallace. He gets a little kick in, but Morwood scouting beautifully at the foot of the pack, dashes through the pack and kicks long up towards the half-forward flank. Ankins comes in, doesn't attempt to pick it up, kicks it up towards the half-forward line. Starcevic is in there, could have been free kick. Cousins comes in, grabbed when he didn't have the ball, and he will take the free kick. Well, the Collingwood fans saying that what happened to Starcevic was just as bad, but it's Cousins with the ball. He goes long now, down to the centre wing position on the outer side of the ground. Dennis Banks goes up in front of bustling Purser and takes a good mark. Goes for a little kick in towards Rosonico. Rosonico has the mark. He goes for a little kick in towards Manson. Manson in the centre of the ground. Kicks long now, up towards centre half forward. Cloaks in the front position. Almost took that mark. It comes down towards Taylor. Tazaris is legged. Must get the free kick trying to break away from that pack. And Zeno Tazaris now runs on. Kicks long up towards centre half forward. Rance is in there, but Christian's at the back. The ball comes down, bounces nicely for Petraglia. He's got a bit of pace and gets away. Beasley leads out, but the pass is wide to Beasley. Gafer comes in, picks up the ball. Beasley tackles him. He handballs away. Petraglia now picks up the ball. Ducks and weaves, gets around nicely. He's running into goals. He has a flying shot to goals, but the angle is too acute, and it bounces and hits the behind post after one bounce, and it'll be a throw in the Social Club pocket.
Some shocking kicking by Footscray, Jack. Well, I tell you what, Beasley wouldn't be very happy about that. He made position beautifully, and a shocking pass there by Petraglia and put him out of action altogether.
And the ball comes down, and it's Bradbury of Collingwood clears the ball. A lovely handball across to Rosonico at centre half back. He's got a million touches this quarter, and he's all on his own. Handballs beautifully to Keys, and Keys showing a wonderful turn of pace. Has one bounce and kicks long. Kennedy's in the box position, though. Out Judge Taylor on that occasion, and puts a nice mark in and gets a little kick out towards Eccleston on the half-back flank. He kicks over towards Royal. Royal a handball over to Michael Ford. He better hurry up and get a kick away. He does so on the left foot up towards Rance. Rance trying to play the ball in, keep the ball in play, but he cannot do so, and it's out of bounds on the half-forward flank.
Check of score with George Ferry at VFL Park.
Carlton 14-11-95, Essendon 8-6-54.
Gerald Burke at Richmond.
Richmond 18-11-119, lead Sydney 14-15-95.
Purser gets the knockout. It comes down towards Wallace. He can't get a kick away. McGuinness hits the ball along the ground over towards Purser. He's playing with the ball. Finally picks it up. Gets it over towards McGuinness. McGuinness a little handball over to Ron James. James a handball across to Rance. Rance goes for a little pass. Bamblett. Bamblett takes the mark. 25 metres out from goal. Almost directly in front. And he didn't even look very confident going to that one.
How many kicks has he got, Peter? What's his first
touch? First touch, that's right. Yes, he's been hit solidly 3 times and hasn't shown a lot of interest in the game, Bamblett. But he comes in now, puts the boot to ball. It's not a good-looking kick, but it's through for a goal. The umpire ran right across and signalled between the goal and the behind post, but that's a much-needed goal to Footscray. They come within 4 points of Collingwood. 13-4-82 Collingwood on the tip-top scoreboard. Footscray 11-12-78.
3Ks it is, football.
This quarter is proudly brought to you by Tip Top High Fibre, Melbourne's footy bread.
Good on you, Mum. Tip-top's the one. Good on you, Mum.
Roy Simmons, the score at Hawthorn.
West Coast 12-12-84, leading Hawthorn 11-12-78.
Here's the bounce of the ball. Manson down towards Brown, but his kick is astray this time. It goes in the arms of Baxter. Footscray with their tails up at the moment, but their delivery of the ball hasn't been good at all. Beasley well out from goal, almost held by Gayford, hits the ground. Rance, a beautiful tackle laid on him by Banks, and Banks stops the ball going any further. Turner goes in, gets it out of the pack through body work, and Lockman backs him up with a good handball wide to Keys, and he's played a snort to Keys. Comes down the ground, tries to do too much this time, and Eccleston's forced him the handball out in the wide, but he still gets his kick in towards the pocket. Cloak runs there and nearly runs into the fence, but the ball is over the line and out of bounds. It'll be on the full or brought back. Now it's on the full. Footscray will get the kick as we check with Bob Henderson at Geelong.
Geelong 23-7, 145. Lead Fitzroy 13-6-84.
On the last line, Tazara sends the ball out towards the back flank. Knocked away by Cousins. It's down on the ground, but all Rosonico is there. Rosonico goes in, gets a handball out wide towards Manson. Manson gets the big kicker towards the forward line. They've flown for it. Tazara ducks the head and got a whip around the head, but the umpire said play on. Goes to the boundary line, picked up.
Foster gets it, boots it out towards the half-back flank. A chance for Rance, who's come right down on the wing. And the ball over the line and out of bounds for yet another throw-in. George Ferry, let's check a score with you again at VFL Park.
Carlton 14-11-95, led Essendon 8-6-54.
Boundary umpire throws it in. Cousins moves in. Manson gets it down on the ground. Rance comes in for Footscray, gets it all. Kick is smothered by Jamie Turner, but the umpire's found a free kick. Well, Footscray's getting the play now, Jack, but they're delivering the ball properly to half forward. As Laurie said, that wall across there has been pretty effective.
They've been doing it the hard way, Collingwood. They're getting play of the ball, but they're not doing much with it.
Little short power. McGuinness just... while he was in front, and you could only say that he heard plenty coming, and a handball by James goes over to Petraglia, back to James. A chance for Beasley leading into it, in front, knocked away by Gay for a push in the back. The umpire said no. Picked up by Morwood. They deliver it out of danger again out to half-back, and a good mark to Ford of Footscray. Plays on a little short pass to James, and James marks. Thinking of going on, handball to Cousins. He runs into trouble, doesn't know where to go. You could swear he said, where do I go now? He just propped and was tackled by Filkey and did nothing. And Filkey will take the free kick. And Laurie's grade noticeably in that 5-10 seconds. You wouldn't believe a man could turn 5 hairs into grey hairs in that amount of time. The handball over the top to Turner, and Turner goes in towards the forward line. Oh, a great battle there with Kennedy and Taylor, and Kennedy's won that one again. Boots it out the half-back. It's running too close to the boundary line, and it beats Wallace over the line and out of bounds. A golden opportunity for the Bulldogs to run the ball up that boundary line. Gerald Burke will have another score from you at Richmond.
Swans within 14 points. Richmond 18-11-119. Sydney 15-15-105.
Well, now Jack's turning grey. Here's the boundary line throw-in, and Magpies a blazing kick by Ryan towards the... well, he hoped to go towards goal, but it went straight over the line and out of bounds, and a free kick going Footscray's way to Foster. He and Kennedy have to be their best players for the day. Drives out the half-back, up it goes in the air. In goes Manson, grabs the ball, picks it up pretty well too. Gets a little handball over the top to Atkins, or a bad bounce for Ryan there. He couldn't do much about it. Coming through as Foster again. Gets the ball and punts it up, but it's over the line and out of bounds for a free kick to the Magpies. It'll be taken over there by Christian. Roy Simmons has another score at Hawthorn.
Westcast 12-12-84, leading Hawthorn 11-14-80.
A little short pass goes into Manson. Manson turns around at between centre and the wing position. Fires in towards centre half forward. Big pack of players go up. Down on the ground. That was a push in the back and then around the neck, and the umpire's seen it too. And it'll go back, I think, to Foster. It is Foster. Has played a slaughter of the game, Jack.
Yeah, he's been very consistent for the full 4 quarters.
Oh, went for a handball, and Cousins just stepped out of it again. Should have gone the other way to Baxter, but Cousins got in the way. But here's a good mark over there on the wing position. That's been taken by Atkins. Atkins looking for someone to kick it to. Cloak's making position at centre half forward, and that's where the ball's going. Up they go in the air. Cloak goes over the top, couldn't take the mark. Bradbury picks it up. Bradbury, the Magpies to the pocket. Leaves Taylor a bit of a run. It bounces awkwardly for him. Kennedy's on his tail, and it's over the line and out of bounds. And that horrible scoreboard for Fitzroy fans is coming up with Bob Henderson at Geelong.
Geelong 24-7, 151 Fitzroy, 14-6-90.
Boundary umpire throws it in. Cousins against Cloak. Cloak wins the battle. A good knockout. Ryan is there almost. Hellman going for the ball. Play on. In goes Keys. He's had it taken out of his grasp by Cousins. Cousins sees Ryan pick up the ball. A handball over him. Umpire letting it go at the moment. Scrambly football. Breaking through as Cronin. Gets a kick out but kicks towards the Magpies. But Royal whips in. Gets it over the top towards Ford with a tap down. Ford lures his opponent Christian, then decides to try and beat him with pace and gets away with it. Goes for the pass to Bamblett. He flips it over, but he should have marked the ball because it's gone straight to Morwood. Morwood picks up the ball, goes in towards the centre of the ground where Bradbury's all on his own. Bradbury turns, takes the mark. It's flipped out of his grasp by Wallace, but the umpire said play on now. Bradbury to the grandstand side with a left foot kick. Up they go in the air, and the mark has been taken down here for the Magpies by Gavin Brown, who centres the ball to Lockman. He's all on his own and goes for a dash. Lockman up towards Taylor and Kennedy. Kennedy at the back. Kennedy reaches over the top and thumps to the ground. The crowd cries for a free kick. Picked up by Cousins. Cousins over to McGuinness. A handball out to the half-back line. Maloney comes in, grabs it. Looks for someone to kick it to, but it's a shocking kick again. It falls short to Lockman. Lockman picks it up and sends it back to half forward, and Ryan spills the mark. Tries to pick it up, now does so. Comes in towards half forward, drives towards goal. Taylor and Kennedy again. It's over the back, and Kennedy's first to pounce. Has he got anyone to kick it to? He goes out towards the half-back flank. It's 2 Magpies to 1 Bulldog. They've spilt the ball. A hand coming in now. Cesaris comes in, grabs the ball, picks it up, left foots it, but he's gone too long. Rance is behind his man, and Christian will take the mark.
And it's Christian on the centre wing, the outer side of the ground. Played a very good game on Rance today. And he kicks long, up towards the half-forward flank. A big pack of players. Cloak over from the back, almost marked it. It comes down towards Maloney again. He gets a little kick in, and this time there are 2 Footscray players. McGuinness takes the mark. Handballs across to Royal. Royal now onto Rance, and Rance onto the left foot. Kicks up long towards Beasley. Beasley and 2 other players. He goes up, but it falls down towards Collingwood's ground. Bamlett comes in, kicks the ball along the ground, but good defensive there. Defensive work there by Jason Kroll. Comes in, gets both hands to the ball and knocks the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds for a throw-in 20 metres around from the Footscray goal. Purser in the back position. Manson gets up, but Purser knocks the ball down. Comes out to Morwood. He handballs the ball along the ground, but it comes over to McGuinness. McGuinness twists and turns, kicks back into the goal square. Beasley and Gaver. It's shepherded by Beasley, but through for 1 point. That will make the difference 3 points. Collingwood 13-4-82, the tip-top scoreboard. Footscray 11-13-79.
3 Ks it is, football.
This quarter is proudly brought to you by Tip Top High Fibre, Melbourne's footy bread.
Good on you, Mum. Tip-top's the one. Good on you, Mum.
Jason Kroll kicks the ball to himself, gets around Beasley, handballs to Banks. Banks across to his teammate in Morwood, and Morwood gets boot the ball, kicks it up to the half-back flank on the grandstand side. It bounces for Cousins. Cousin handballs to Royal. Royal to Bamlett. Bamlett better hurry up. He's kick smothered. Good defence there by the Magpies, and it comes out towards Morwood. Morwood with a kick up towards Bradbury on the centre wing position, and Bradbury takes a good mark. He hurries up and plays on. Wallace is on the ground for Footscray. Bradbury runs around him, has 2 bounces, 3 bounces. He's down almost to the 50-metre line and puts a big kick in towards goals. Rosonico, using his body beautifully, just held the Footscray player out. Kroll looked back and took a lovely mark, and he's right in the 10-metre square. Used his body beautifully on that occasion.
He played well, this fellow, and he played well, this Rosonico.
Yes, he's made a lot of difference. A bit of pace and a bit of height. And he bangs that one through, and that's give Collingwood a bit of breathing space at the 20-minute mark. Collingwood, I think they've put it up 14-4, 88 points, 9 points in front of Footscray, 11-13-79.
What's his stats, Pete?
Rosonico, 15 kicks and 10 hand passes and 4 marks.
3 Ks it is, football.
This quarter is proudly brought to you by Tip Top High Fibre, Melbourne's footy bread.
Good on you, Mum. Tip-top's the one. Good on you, Mum.
While they're getting a new football, George Ferry has a score at VFL Park.
Carlton 15-12, 102 to Essendon 9-6-60.
Gerald Burke at Richmond.
Richmond lead by 1 point, 18-11, 119. Sydney 17-16, 118.
Roy Simmons at Hawthorn.
West Coast 13-13, 91, leading Hawthorn 11-14, 80.
And Bob Henderson at Geelong.
Geelong 26-7, 163. Fitzroy 15-6, 96. Linda with 7.
And it's Cloak that gets the knockout. It comes down towards Filkey. He overruns the ball. It comes out towards Gavin Brown, but he can't pick it up. Foster's in there. Atkins picks it up and gets a kick away. Down towards centre half forward. Starcevic comes out and takes a mark. They've got their tails up again, Collingwood. Taylor leads out. It's a lovely pass towards him. Almost a mark. Play on is the call. The handball comes out, but Maloney of Footscray intercepts. Kicks over towards Royal on the grandstand side of the ground. Royal is met sullenly, but turns around, picks up the ball. He's tackled. Bradbury picks up the ball this time, but in the meantime, Royal has been paid a free kick. Didn't see what it was
Push in the back.
Push in the back, says Ian, and I'll believe you. That's not a good kick from Royal over towards Cronin. Cronin playing for a free kick. Turner handballs the ball over to Bradbury. Bradbury gets the ball out to Filkey. Filkey on the left foot, kicks up towards centre half forward. Manson comes in, and he's played a great game today and takes the mark. Turns around that awkward looking kick up towards Taylor and Kennedy. Kennedy's on the ground. Tazaris comes in, recovering well. Kennedy's still on the ground, holding his face. Tazaris kicks out to the outer side of the ground. There's a race here between Ford and Keys. Keys actually got the front position, did it beautifully. Tapped the ball over to Morwood, and Morwood goes forward. And there's Rosonico all on his own again. Tazaris didn't have time to recover and get back on his man, and the ball come back so quickly from Keys, and Rosonico has got the mark 30 metres out from goal on a 45-degree angle.
Conan dragged off the ground, Cordion.
A couple of Footscray players found wanting today under the pressure. Cronin and Bamblett, both on the bench. Rosonico comes in. It's an awkward-looking kick. Didn't follow through with that one, and through for 1 point. That makes the difference on the tip-top scoreboard. 10 points in Collingwood's favour. 14-5-89 Collingwood. Footscray 11-13-79. Kennedy goes to the outer side of the ground and finds Ford with a nice kick out. Handball's over to Royal. Better get a hurried kick, and he does so. Kicks up towards centre half forward. Rance comes in and takes a mark. Gets a little kick over towards James. James let the ball run on. Royal picks up the ball. Handball's towards James. James is in there fighting hard. Knocks the ball out to Wallace, but he's tackled. There were 4 Collingwood players in there. Wallace had nowhere to go, and the Magpie defence holding very strong in this last quarter, and a ball up at centre half back's the result.
Difference is that Collingwood have got a team working, whereas Footscray are relying on 1 or 2 to try and get it down there, aren't they?
Yeah, the way they're going.
Down goes the ball. Cloak gets a knock away. It comes down to Kroll. He's been another good tryer. Kicks up towards Starcevic, but it's running for the Bulldogs. Cousins is going to pick up the ball and does so now at centre half back. Kicks over towards Darren Baxter. He goes high. Can't take the mark. Rosonico comes in there, and so does Kennedy of Footscray, but they can't pick it up. Finally, it's Foster who does so. He picks the ball up, kicks into the centre of the ground, but Lockman all on his own comes in to take the mark. Rosonico's making a lead. Kennedy has to run out to try and mind him, and up goes Ford. He can't take the mark. It falls down towards Tezaris. He picks up the ball, runs back towards centre half back. Now puts a big boot into it, up towards Rance. Christian's in the front position, and Dennis Banks. Banks gets the handball out, and it comes back towards Christian. Christian twisting and turning, gets a little kick away now. It goes over towards the half-forward line, down towards the centre wing rather. Keys coming in, can't control the ball, and it's over the boundary line and out of bounds for a throw-in.
We're coming up to time on, 24 minutes gone. A score from Gerald Burke at Richmond.
Richmond 18-12, 120, 1 point in front of Sydney, 17-17, 119.
Cloak and Cousins. It's Cloak gets the knockout again. It comes down towards Footscray though, but back to Cloak in the pack. A little flick out there. Comes over towards Brown. He gets a kick in towards centre half forward, and there's a good mark there. And that's Brown who's got the mark. It was Ryan giving the little kick across. Brown takes the mark, kicks up towards centre half forward. Taylor comes out, can't pick up the ball. Bradbury dives in, holds the ball to him. Kennedy comes out, makes sure the ball stays on the bottom of the pack, and the umpire will come in to bounce it up.
Roy Simmons, the score at Hawthorn.
14-13-97, leading Hawthorn 13-14-92.
Down goes the ball again. Manson and Cousins. Cousins gets the knock away, but it's all Collingwood. Bradbury comes in, but he spilt the ball. Tezaris comes in, tackled and loses the ball. Holding the ball, say the Collingwood supporters, but umpire Russo will come in and bounce it up at centre half forward.
Tezaris a little bit stiff there. He could have been paid a trip as he was legged on the way through. George Ferrier score at VFL Park.
Carlton 15-12, 102, Essendon 9-9-63.
Down goes the ball again. Cousins gets the front position, knocks it out, but it comes over towards Bradbury. Coming through there was Ryan. He can't get it. Atkins comes through, gets onto the left foot, kicks up towards Taylor. Taylor pushes Kennedy in the back, but Kennedy maintains the front position and will get the free kick. He's played well today, Kennedy. It's been a good battle. Gets the kick out towards Ford. He'd better hurry up. He's tackled by Keys. Good play, but Ford does get the kick away. Gets it over to McGuinness, who shrugs off a tackle. McGuinness goes in towards Purser. Purser goes up, can't take the mark, but Petraglia coming in behind the pack does take the mark as the ball went over the pack. Beasley leads out. In front there was Rance who spoiled Beasley. James comes in for Footscray, picks up the ball, screws it around towards goals. This is going very close. I'll wait for the umpire. It's a goal. That makes the difference. 4 points again. Collingwood 14-5-89. Footscray 12-13-75. That's on the tip-top scoreboard. 26 minutes gone.
And 1 minute to go. 3KZ is football.
This quarter is proudly brought to you by Tip Top High Fibre, Melbourne's footy bread.
Good on you, Mum. Tip-top's the one. Good on you, Mum.
Fans have heard our call. They know it's only 1 minute to go. There's really rip-roaring now. Bounce of the ball comes in. Up goes Cousins. A chance for the ball on the ground. Bulldogs have got to get it moving. They can't do so. A push in the back. It's Footscray's free kick. Wallace has got the kick. James gives a lead. Beasley right out. The kick is smothered. Play on, says the umpire. This is going to mean the game for Collingwood. It's picked up by Brown. Brown into the forward line. Starcevic after the ball, chasing after it. Picks it up, is grabbed, gets a handball out, it goes wide, a chance for Wallace, he can't pick it up. Another chance for Filkey with a handball to Ryan. Ryan turns on the left foot, down towards the forward line. Kennedy backing back, up they go, and Kennedy almost took the mark. It's on the ground, a chance for Kennedy again, a handball over the top. Eccleston with the ball, comes long to the wing. In front is Brian Corley, but Rosonico, you beauty, up over the top to pull the mark down. He's cramped. He's been in so much of the play, but this will see out time. He handballs to Bradbury. Bradbury over there on the left foot from the wing into half forward. Timekeeper's getting ready. Up it goes in the air. It's down on the ground. Breaking through is Desaris. And the siren sounds to end the thriller at Victoria Park with the Magpies up by 4 points. And every fan here has really had a game and a half to think about. Collingwood 14-5-89 to Footscray 12-13-85. A rip snorter at Victoria Park with the Magpies coming out on top by 4 points. 3KZ is football.
What's the first thing that flashes into your mind's eye when I say golden crumpets? Did you suddenly see 2 golden crumpets all freshly buttered for breakfast in bed? Or did you think of golden crumpet suppers around a crackling fire at night with the jam and honey melting right through? Oh, such golden memories of the original, unmistakable, unsurpassable golden crumpet. What an absolutely scrumptious thought.
Alrighty. Oh, the excitement out here at Victoria Park. But the Collingwood fans, despite their win, have still found time to give the umpires a hoot going off the ground. It's good to see that they haven't forgotten old principles. Now, let's check Gerald Berg at Richmond. How's that game going, Bergie?
22-minute mark. Swans 19-17, 131. 5 points in front of Richmond. 19-12, 126.
What's the crowd down there, Gerald?
About 22,500.
Well, they're being treated to a game and a half also.
True, Ian. Yes.
Roy Simmons at Hawthorn.
Yeah, the Hawks have been done by 12 points. West Coast 15-14, 104. Did Hawthorn 13-14, 92.
Take that again, though.
West Coast 15-14, 104. Hawthorn 13-14, 92.
All right. Anyone with the swagger goals?
Yes, Jason Dunstall kicked 5, but that's about the only one. In the West Coast Eagles, there's only 2 that kicked 2 goals.
All righty. Now, Bobby Henderson at Geelong.
Geelong 28-8, 176. Lead Fitzroy 16-6, 102.